Chapter 931. The dark, north chaotic sky territory had always been a place for sect disciples to train. The appearance of the tomb of the plentiful treasure immortal king attracted the attention of many disciples. They put down what they were doing and came here to try their luck. Li Huo was one of them. He was in Zenith Heaven Golden Immortal and had comprehended 50% of the nomological laws. Although it was only 50%, with the power of the nomological laws, Zenith Heaven Golden Immortals of the same level were no match for him. The reason was simple. Li Huo had comprehended the power of poison. It was extremely vicious and specialized in destroying people's bodies and primordial spirits. My luck is pretty good. A golden immortal kid dares to covet the treasures of the Divine Abilities Hall? I'll destroy your body, and the treasures will be mine. The Divine Abilities Hall was empty. There were no divine abilities or treasures. Immortal Li Huo was sure that Li Huo had it. No need to struggle. You've been poisoned by my power of poison. Just accept your death. The power of poison invaded Li Huo's body. A tyrannical sword light flashed and landed on Li Huo's body. Li Huo smiled proudly. A mere golden immortal dared to fight? Clang! The powerful sword filled the air with the power of poison. No one could get close. But when Li Huo's sword landed on Lin Fei, sparks flew. It was as if he had landed on a boulder. Sacred body of gods and demons, expel the poison! Lin Fei was infuriated. This person was too vicious. The demon god's hand slammed into the sword, sending it flying. Wong wong sounds rang out continuously. The second demon god's hand grabbed the sword in the air. It was as if he was trying to fish the moon out of the water. My sword! Li Huo spat out a mouthful of blood. His sword was destroyed and he was injured. He waved his hand and the power of poison filled the air. It sliced towards Li Huo, poisoning everything. You're courting death! Bang! 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 Lin Fei sent out 6 palms. Divine power surged and shattered the power of poison. The 6 demon gods' hands suddenly appeared above Li Huo and slapped down. The void caved in and then collapsed. Li Huo screamed and his body exploded. You dare to sneak attack me? You're courting death. Lin Fei retracted the godly demon hand and put away the storage ring. He expelled the toxic energy from his body and shot it at the palace, corroding it. The disciples who are training outside are all here. I have to be careful. After exiting the Divine Abilities Hall, Lin Fei headed to the next palace. At this moment, many figures appeared in the air as many people descended. Many palaces exploded with immortal energy as they fought intensely, causing many palaces to explode. Lin Fei executed the sacred dragon steps and avoided the battlefield. He searched for the palace halls that had yet to open, not wanting to waste time. The plentiful treasure Immortal King Tomb was huge, and there were more than just a few people in the northern, dark, chaotic space domain. If they kept coming, the treasures would decrease. Boom, boom! Suddenly, a wave of fluctuations erupted in front of him. Humph! You dare to steal this crown prince's things! Lin Fei heard a familiar voice coming from the front. He knew that it was the voice of the Prince of Hell. Infernal Crown Prince, how dare a mere infernal realm cultivator like you act so atrociously? Senior brothers, let's work together to suppress the Infernal Crown Prince. Suppress the Prince of Hell. Kill. An earth-shattering battle came from the front. The treasure that the Crown Prince of Hell has his eyes on? Lin Fei was tempted. Who told him to lack treasures? Although he had low-grade sacred treasures with ordinary power, they could not meet the requirements in his heart. Let's go. With the sacred body of God and demon, how could Lin Fei miss such an opportunity? The treasures left by the plentiful treasure Immortal King must be extraordinary. Lin Fei broke through more than 10 palaces in a row. A road leading to heaven appeared in front of him. At the end of it was a magnificent palace. Outside the palace, Several figures were fighting fiercely. The crown prince of hell from the infernal realm indeed has the capital to be arrogant. He is fighting 8 zenith heaven golden immortals alone, and still has the upper hand. Lin Fei looked over. Could that be a 9-headed hell serpent? It has 9 heads, yet it's able to ignore the attacks of 8 golden immortals of the great overarching heaven. What a powerful, fleshly body! Its strength is probably at the peak of the mortal king realm. Roar! All of a sudden, one of the 9-headed hell serpent's heads glared at Lin Fei, and it let out a mighty roar that shook the mountains. How dare a puny ant like you have designs on me? I'll eat you! Whoosh! An incarnation of a 9-headed serpent charged out, its bloody maw wide open. A fishy stench assailed the nostrils as it charged in front of Lin Fei. Even though it was just an incarnation, it was still dozens of meters tall. Lowly ant, I smell something delicious on you. Let me think, what is it? I remember now. You have the aura of the dragon tribe on you. I love eating dragons. It's so refreshing. Be a good boy and let me eat you. Lin Fei did not expect that with a thought, the 9-headed hell snake would separate an incarnation to eat him. Crack! The 9-headed hell snake bit down, and the fishy smell was almost suffocating. Lin Fei slid sideways, causing the attack to miss. However, a large part of the road leading to heaven was cut off by the 9-headed hell snake. It was horrifying. How dare you run? The 9-headed hell snake was furious. In the underworld, it was a supreme existence. It could eat whoever it wanted. No one had ever dared to say no. The word no just had to be avoided by a puny little ant. Untactful, the 9-headed hell serpent decided that it would devour this fellow in one gulp. Talent, totem seal. The 9-headed hell snake opened its mouth and spat out a huge totem pillar. A loud roar came from the totem pillar, and a mysterious power spread out. Lin Fei's body froze, and he could not move. The 9-headed hell snake's totem talent. Lin Fei had heard that some powerful divine beasts were born with innate talents and were extremely powerful. Stop struggling, lowly ant. In front of the totem talent, even if you are a dragon, you have to coil up. The 9-headed hell snake was drooling. Delicious dragon meat, here I come. The 9-headed hell snake opened its bloody mouth and bit towards Lin Fei. A rotten snake incarnation wants to eat me. Lin Fei frowned. His god-devil body shook, and rumbling godly power rushed into the sky, breaking the totem seal and regaining his freedom. He reached out with his god-devil hand. I will let you eat your fill. The 9-headed hell snake's incarnation faced Lin Fei's iron fist. Voila! Lin Fei immediately used 10 consecutive explosions on the 9-headed hell snake's body. One explosion after another. The incarnation was blasted into a bloody mess. It's still not dead. An incarnation couldn't even explode after using 10 consecutive explosions. The 9-headed hell snake was just too sick. Shameless ant, I will kill you. The 9-headed hell snake was completely enraged. Heaven's shaking bell, suppress. Lin Fei rushed into the sky and took out the heaven's shaking bell. A huge black bell came down, suppressing the 9-headed hell snake's incarnation. With a wave of his hand, he kept it in the heaven, and earth smelt. My incarnation! Shio, shio, shio! A sharp gaze shot out from the 9-headed hell snake's eyes. Lin Fei used his god-devil hand to deal with it. Master, my incarnation is dead. On the 9-headed hell snake, the crown prince of hell glared at him coldly. Of the 8 perfected golden immortals, only 3 were left. The rest were killed by the crown prince of hell. Many of the disciples present were afraid of the crown prince of hell. When they heard the crown prince of hell's words, they all looked at Lin Fei. To be able to make the 9-headed hell snake suffer a loss, he must have a treasure on him, right? The heaven-shaking bell suppressed the incarnation of the 9-headed hell serpent. Lin Fei used the heaven and earth smelt to refine it. If it were his true body, it would naturally not be easy to do so. But now that it was just an incarnation, it was a piece of cake for him. How dare you refine this crown prince's battle pet? The crown prince of hell waved his hand, and a dark moon rose. On the dark moon, immortal runes were activated, and the heaven and earth suddenly darkened. The night was like water, shocking everyone. 3 heads and 6 arms, divine power burst. In the face of the crown prince of hell's attack, Lin Fei's blood was boiling. His divine physique had reached the phenomenal success stage, and his celestial demon body had reached the 4th transformation. Lin Fei wanted to see just how strong the Hell World's Hell Crown Prince was. Whoosh, the remaining 3 Zenith Heaven Golden Immortals stopped moving. Under the attack of the dark moon, they fell straight from the sky, lost their breath, and their primordial spirits were completely destroyed. Your Highness is a genius. You managed to refine the dark moon to 8 layers of restrictions so quickly. It won't be long before you completely master the dark moon. 2 middle-aged men behind the crown prince of hell wore in different expressions. In the great metropolis celestial realm, there's no one who can do anything to His Highness. Don't forget, the dark moon is a top-grade saint artifact with 10 layers of restrictions. Once it's fully grasped, its power will increase by 100-fold, making it unstoppable. With this, the crown prince of hell will be able to suppress everything. In the future, he might even have the chance to become the Hell Emperor. As the followers of the Crown Prince of Hell, they naturally hoped that the Crown Prince of Hell's strength would improve. Oh no, run! As soon as the dark moon appeared, the sky fell and the earth cracked. What a powerful, sacred artifact! Its power is extraordinary. It killed a perfected golden immortal with a wave of its hand. I'm looking forward to it. Lin Fei took a deep breath. No matter what, I have to snatch the dark moon. Such a powerful sacred artifact will increase my strength by another level in my hands. I'll grab it. Lin Fei grabbed with his big hand, piercing through the void to meet the dark moon. This kid doesn't know what's good for him. He even dares to grab Master's dark moon? There's going to be a good show to watch. The 9 heads of the 9-headed hell serpent sneered coldly. He knew the divine might of the dark moon. Many powerhouses in the hell world died in the hands of the dark moon, establishing the reputation of the crown prince of hell. The dark moon was like a bright moon. Its deep darkness blotted out the sky and the sun. Lin Fei's grab was powerful and fierce. It broke through the divine might of the dark moon and grabbed the sacred artifact in one breath. Brilliant light exploded, each with power no less than an immortal king's attack. The demon god's hand was badly mutilated and melted. Brilliant light constantly exploded. It could be said that it was asking for humiliation. Let's go. Lin Fei turned around and left with large strides. He withdrew the demon god's hand, and the dark moon fell into his palm. In the time it took for a spark to fly off a flint, everything was reversed. Hua! 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 The dark moon kept exploding, trying to break free. Lin Fei's grab was as unmoving as a mountain, suppressing the dark moon. Damn it, that kid took the dark moon. The smiles on the faces of the 2 middle-aged men stiffened. His Highness's dark moon had been taken away. How was this possible? Even they didn't dare to suppress the dark moon with their bare hands. Chapter 932. Your Highness, don't worry. I will kill that kid and take back the dark moon's sacred weapon. The sudden scene caught them off guard. His Highness dark moon's sacred weapon, which he had refined to the 8th layer, was suppressed by a kid. The crown prince of hell's expression darkened. Oh no, I've lost contact with the dark moon. The dark moon sacred weapon was obtained by the crown prince of hell from a secret realm. There are 10 layers of restrictions placed on it, and each layer was more difficult than the previous one. So far, he had only refined 8 layers of restrictions, which could unleash 80% of its power. Just now, the Crown Prince of Hell lost control of the Dark Moon and the last connection. How could he not be shocked? Your Highness, how is this possible? There are 10 layers of restrictions. How can that kid suppress it? The 2 subordinates were completely shocked. Uncle Han, no matter how powerful that kid is, we must kill him. He must have a treasure on him. You must be careful. Yes. The middle-aged man called Uncle Han tore open the void and chased after the Crown Prince. Your Highness, the Dark Moon is not here. Will it be difficult to break into that place? The Crown Prince of Hell calmed himself down. Don't worry. That kid is just relying on the treasure. Uncle Han, he won't be able to escape. We'll just have to wait a little longer. Let's go. Good stuff, good stuff. A supreme-grade sacred weapon that almost shook an immortal weapon. Lin Fei suppressed the Dark Moon's sacred weapon and realized its value. Fortunately, he had planned it out. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to catch the Crown Prince by surprise. When the infernal Crown Prince used the Dark Moon's sacred tool, the might of the Dark Moon's sacred tool surpassed that of the previous sacred tools. Lin Fei realized that the Dark Moon's sacred tool was extraordinary, so he used the Emperor-grade palm to fool the infernal Crown Prince, catching them off guard. How dare you covet His Highness' treasure? Rumble, rumble, the 1,000-zhang-long saber light was like a stream of light, and with a terrifying momentum, it attacked from behind. F***CK. Another one comprehended the space-time storm. This was the second time Lin Fei encountered someone who could unleash a spatial tempest. From the moment the other party acted, he could tell that the one pursuing him was a peak-stage mortal king. In addition to the earlier one, this was the second one. Break for me. Lin Fei turned around. He had 3 heads and 6 arms, and his divine power surged as he slapped down on the blade light, creating a storm of divine power. When it collided with the domineering blade light, the blade light exploded continuously, destroying the nearby buildings. Lin Fei used this time to execute the sacred dragon steps and put some distance between them. The great tomb of the plentiful treasure Immortal King was filled with treasures, and Yang Qi didn't want to waste any more time on it. Therefore, he descended into the palace and began to play hide and seek. What a domineering divine power! It can even destroy the saber light. The one who caught up was Uncle Han. He was slightly surprised. Unfortunately, you stole His Highness' Saint artifact. You are destined to die. No one can save you. Phew! Uncle Han chased after him. What a fast speed! He caught up so quickly. Whoosh! The saber lights were like flowing water as they bombarded Lin Fei, shattering the buildings and causing them to collapse. You can't escape. Even after executing the sacred dragon steps, Lin Fei was still unable to widen the distance between him and his opponent. This person is very strong. A peak mortal step Immortal King is indeed not easy to deal with. His god-fiend body was covered in saber marks, but they weren't fatal for the time being. I can't let this drag on. I have to think of a way to shake him off. If there was no one else around, Lin Fei wouldn't mind fighting with them. He wanted to experience the power of a peak mortal step Immortal King. But now, Lin Fei didn't dare to do so. The peak mortal step Immortal King who chased after him might appear at any time. He had to be careful. After thinking it through, Lin Fei continued to enter the palaces. Many disciples came to the great tomb of the plentiful treasure Immortal King. They could be seen searching for treasures in the palaces. This spear contains restrictions that are comparable to a mid-grade saint artifact. It's mine now. In one of the palaces, a black spear floated in the air. A few people were fighting for ownership. One of them, a young man, grabbed the black spear. This belongs to me. Scram! A huge black sword smashed down like a wooden plank, causing the young man to be dazed. He saw stars and sank into the blue stone of the palaces. The black spear also fell into someone's hand. Damn fatty, he snatched the black spear. The person who came out from the darkness was the fatty, Gao Shi-san. He had obtained a treasure spear that was reinforced with restrictions. It wasn't an ordinary saint artifact. With the black spear in hand, Gao Shi-san slipped away, leaving behind a group of people cursing. I wonder what good stuff Brother Lin snatched. Rumble, the palaces in front of him collapsed, and a figure flashed by. Gao Shi-san glanced over and instantly recognized that person. His eyes rolled, as expected of Brother Lin, daring to snatch food from the tiger's mouth and even offended a peak-stage mortal-ranked immortal king. This fatty can only sigh in admiration. That fellow is being pursued by experts. It's better for this fatty to hide further away. Senior Brother Hao, do you think that Lin Fei kid will come here? In another place of the plentiful treasures immortal king's tomb, a few young men killed more than 10 people. More than 10 treasures fell into their hands, leaving corpses on the ground. It's good that he's here. It saves us the trouble of searching for him in the northern underworld chaotic space zone. The northern dark chaotic space domain is so huge. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack to find a person. However, we're lucky to have found one of the tombs of the plentiful treasures immortal king. These 5 people were the inner disciples of the Nether Palace who chased after Lin Fei. Each of them was powerful and didn't hesitate to kill. Hunting down Lin Fei is a small matter. Hao Feng smiled. Finding the inheritance of the plentiful treasures immortal king is the most important thing. Rumor has it that the plentiful treasures immortal king didn't have much time left. He collected all the treasures in one place. That place is related to a big secret. If we can find the real inheritance of the plentiful treasures immortal king, it will be a great contribution to the sect. Ah, there's such a secret. Apart from our Nether Palace, who else is qualified to have such a good thing? Who dares to ruin our business? Kill, kill, kill. The group of people went deep into the palace. Not good. I can't get rid of that guy. There were more than 10 wounds on Lin Fei's body. He sneak attacked his opponent several times but couldn't hurt him. You can't get away. Suddenly, Lin Fei saw a group of people flying in front of him. He immediately recognized them. Aren't they the people of the Nether Palace? Damn, why did I run into them? Lin Fei's face changed slightly. It wasn't a good thing to run into them. There were strong enemies in front and people chasing behind. He was in a dead end. Do we really have to fight? A few breaths later, Lin Fei had a flash of inspiration, and he immediately had an idea. Senior Brother, help! The group of people from the Nether Palace had the battle prowess of a worldly immortal king. They were practically invincible immortals from all over the world. When they heard the sudden cry for help, their expressions naturally changed. Who was so bold as to make a move against the people of the Nether Palace? Chapter 933. Senior Brother Hao, he's Lin Fei. Ha ha ha. The disciples of the Nether Palace had already memorized Lin Fei's appearance, so they recognized him immediately. Ha ha ha, Lin Fei has indeed come. Truly, you can wear out iron shoes in fruitless searching only to find what you're looking for without even looking for it. Let's see where you can go this time. Their mission was to find Lin Fei. It was no surprise that they ran into the tomb of the plentiful treasure immortal king in the northern underworld chaotic space field. Liu Zi, go and kill that Lin Fei brat. Hao Feng said coolly. Lin Fei was a golden immortal. Hao Feng didn't take it seriously. Any of his junior brothers could easily suppress Lin Fei. He didn't need to do it himself. Little did he know that Lin Fei's words brought about 2 different reactions. The people of the Nether Palace were naturally excited. After getting rid of Lin Fei, they could focus on the treasure hunt and didn't need to waste time on Lin Fei. But to the other person, it wasn't good news. It made him angry. So his name is Lin Fei. No wonder he had to run. He has helpers. Han Lai's expression changed when he saw the 5 people in front of him. We can't let them attack. His Highness's sacred artifact is still in their hands. It won't be easy to take it back if they join hands. Kill. Han Lai's eyes were cold. The space-time storm was hidden in his saber. He slashed out over 100 times. Each slash was extremely domineering, crushing a palace below and causing it to collapse. Puff! Then Lin Fei was sent flying and crashed into a pile of ruins, causing dust to rise. He has helpers. Everything happened so fast that the disciple of the Nether Palace called Lu Zi couldn't react at all. His expression changed, and he couldn't help but fly into a rage. He drew his sword and swept out with the space-time storm. You, Lin Fei, you want to sneak attack me? You're courting death. Just this move alone showed the powerful strength of the disciples of the Nether Palace. Bang! Bang! Their attacks exploded in the sky, like raging waves beating against the shore, crushing everything in their path. His helpers are so strong. Han Lai was completely enraged. If he didn't kill this person, he wouldn't be able to retrieve His Highness's treasure. He had to end this battle quickly. Storm 18 cuts. The saber light transformed, containing the complete might of a peak-stage, human-ranked immortal king. This was a flawless attack, causing the expressions of everyone to change. Not good. His strength is at the peak of the man-ranked immortal king realm. Hao Feng's indifferent expression changed the next moment. How could Lin Fei have such a helper? Go, a simple and unadorned mirror appeared in front of the 6 suns, trying to seize an opportunity. However, Han Lai didn't give it an opportunity. He slashed out with his saber, sending the mirror flying. You dare to steal His Majesty's treasure? Go to hell. The saber light crushed Lu Zi's body. Lu Zi's body exploded, and the saber light shredded the fragments into dust. Lu Zi, the remaining disciples of the Nether Palace, were enraged. How were they going to explain losing a disciple to a mere golden immortal? Kill. Kill him. Hao Feng couldn't help but be enraged. As the senior brother leading the team, how could he not be enraged when he saw his disciple die in front of him? This was no less than a slap to his face. Kill. A peak-stage mortal-ranked immortal king and 3 mortal-ranked immortal kings. This was a powerful force that surrounded Han Lai. Saber light and sword light flashed unceasingly as rumbling energy fluctuations erupted in all directions. You guys take your time. I won't accompany you anymore. Lin Fei slipped away as quickly as he could from the huge battle above. No one noticed him. Sneaking out of the palace ruins, Lin Fei went straight to the depths of the palace. His surging immortal force healed the wound on his back. The attack of a human-ranked immortal king almost caused his god-fiend body to collapse. He was heavily injured, but at least he managed to shake them off. The Crown Prince of Hell's people killed the people of the Nether Palace. They will definitely fight for a while. Once they know they were fooled, they will definitely stop and focus on me. Lin Fei thought as he flew. There must be treasures in the depths of the plentiful treasure Immortal King's tomb. Looking at that Crown Prince of Hell, there must be good things in the depths. I'll snatch one more and then leave. Relying on his impression, Lin Fei rushed in. Asterisk rumble asterisk. Suddenly, an energy wave erupted at the end of the path. Did the Crown Prince of Hell break in? Lin Fei rushed forward without hesitation. His powerful divine sense captured that there were also countless figures rushing in that direction. What a huge stone coffin! At the end of his divine sense, Lin Fei saw a stone coffin. It was 1,000 feet in size, like a huge monster. Is that the Crown Prince of Hell? On top of the huge black stone coffin, Lin Fei saw the Crown Prince of Hell fighting a group of experts alone. There were no less than 20 Zenith, Heaven, Golden Immortals. The energy wave killed one Zenith Heaven Golden Immortal after another. The terrifying energy hit the stone coffin, but it was not damaged at all. Uncle Feng, go and delay them. I'll go get the treasure. With a loud rumble, the crown prince of hell sent the zenith heaven golden immortals flying. The nine-headed hell snake slammed into the huge stone coffin. With a loud rumble, the hard stone coffin loosened. "Open for me." The prince of hell waved his hand and took out a talisman that flickered with light. It was an extraordinary item. An illusory figure appeared and pressed down with a palm. The lid of the coffin caved in with a gotcha sound and a large hole appeared. "Go." The crown prince of hell waved his hand and put away the nine-headed hell snake. Then he rushed into the stone coffin. The middle-aged man, called Uncle Foam, shook his body. He had 3 heads and 6 arms. He was 100 feet tall and dazzling starlight. He cultivated a peerless body refining art. Die. The first zenith heaven golden immortal was sent flying with a palm. While he was still in the air, the destructive energy exploded in his body and blood splattered. Not good. It's the starlight divine body. Uncle Foam, the subordinate of the crown prince of hell, landed on top of the stone coffin. He killed the zenith heaven golden immortals one after another. The attacks that landed on him were dissolved by the starlight. His Highness's things aren't something you can covet. Uncle Foam had 3 heads and 6 arms. He cultivated the destructive energy and killed a zenith heaven golden immortal. He looked around coldly and said that he would kill anyone who came up. Suppress. With a shout, a stone tablet appeared above the stone coffin. There was a huge suppress character on the tablet. It was simple and powerful. Under the activation of the character, a dazzling light suppressed the surroundings. Not good. I can't move. As soon as the tablet appeared, it suppressed the subordinates of the crown prince of hell. They charged into the stone coffin. The dazzling light disappeared and everyone regained their freedom. That was written by the great emperor. Who did it? Even I couldn't block it. Foam Shan's expression changed. His Highness has the 9-headed hell snake. Unless it's an earth immortal king, I only need to guard this place and not let anyone else enter. After this group of people charged in, there were a few more who tried to force their way in. They were all killed by the subordinates of the crown prince of hell. The starlight divine body was too powerful. It could reflect damage and suppress everyone. Lin Fei, I can sense something left behind by Master. The subordinates of the crown prince of hell suppressed the stone coffin. Relying on the starlight divine body, no one could enter. Lin Fei couldn't help but feel a headache, especially when the crown prince of hell took out a treasure to break open the stone coffin. Just as Lin Fei was hesitating, an urgent voice sounded in his mind. "Senior He Yao." The voice sounded in his mind. Lin Fei was shocked. Wasn't this Senior He Yao of Senfu? Go in quickly. The stone coffin contains Master's treasure. You must get it. You can't miss this opportunity. Otherwise, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. He Yao's tone was very urgent. Could it be an unthinkable thought flashed through Lin Fei's mind before disappearing? I'll go immediately. Xiao Lin Fei turned into a gust of wind and appeared above Uncle Feng's head. Uncle Feng was shocked. "It's you? Why are you here?" Why can't I be here?" Without waiting for an explanation, Lin Fei's 6 arms slammed down. A thunderous rumble shook the heavens and the earth. The void collapsed. Feng Shan wasn't simple either. His 6 arms met Lin Fei's. "You can escape from Hanlai, but don't think of escaping from me." The starlight divine body activated. Resplendent starlight covered his entire body. Boom, boom, boom. Both of them had 3 heads and 6 arms. One used the power of destruction, while the other used unparalleled divine strength. The void exploded. Only the stone coffin was unharmed. "Brett, you're only SOSO." Although Feng Shan was shocked, the other party's divine strength was enough to take him down. He slammed down again. His attack was many times more violent. Experts from the Hell Realm are indeed troublesome. They're not easy to deal with. Lin Fei needed time. Many air-piercing sounds could be heard. If he didn't go in now, it would be too late. Get out of my way. Lin Fei's God Force surged as he activated the Eternal Divine Fist. 10 consecutive explosions, a total of 2 million draconic dragons, God Force blasted out. The starlight around Feng Shan's body exploded, and several of his 3 heads and 6 arms exploded. Even his powerful starlight divine body was severely injured. You dare trick me? So what if I trick you? Feng Shan was caught off guard and suffered a great loss. His starlight divine body was also injured. Blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. Even such an attack couldn't kill him. Dark Moon. Lin Fei wouldn't give this guy a chance to counterattack. He took out a Dark Moon and used the treasure refining technique to break the seal. He controlled a part of it and attacked Feng Shan. Your Highness, Dark Moon. Feng Shan retreated. His starlight divine body was injured, and he didn't dare to take it head-on. He realized something was wrong. Lin Fei's mocking voice sounded in his ears. Sorry, I'm going in. Damn it. Feng Shan didn't have time to stop him. The two of them fought very quickly. Feng Shan had actually made a mistake. Otherwise, his opponent wouldn't have been able to enter. Everyone, hurry up. That guy's starlight divine body is injured. He definitely can't stop us. Kill. Chapter 934. Whoosh! I'm finally in. With a feint, Lin Fei successfully entered the black sarcophagus. Whoosh! Power flowed over like water, and Lin Fei was instantly enveloped by the mysterious power. My immortal force, the power of laws. Inside the black sarcophagus was a unique space. As soon as Lin Fei entered, the mysterious power sealed his immortal force. Was this set up by the treasure-snatching Immortal King? Lin Fei tried a few times, but the immortal force and power of laws didn't react. As long as the divine force is still here, everything is fine. Lin Fei let out a long sigh of relief after confirming that the divine force was still there and examined the space. In the vast starry sky, the sun, moon, and stars, Lin Fei was surprised to find that he was in a mysterious space. Those aren't the sun, moon, and stars, they're treasures. Lin Fei focused his gaze and discovered that the sun, moon, and celestial bodies were not the real sun, moon, and celestial bodies. Instead, they were treasures left behind by the plentiful treasures immortal monarch that had enhanced the effects of the sun, moon, and celestial bodies. It's in front, go. Black Yao's voice sounded in his mind. Rumble, the ripples of battle came from ahead and the sounds that followed. You Linglong, do you think you can suppress me with the demon suppressing steel? I'm invincible. Even with the power of laws sealed, I'm still undefeatable. No one can stop me. Deep in the space, the Hell Crown Prince's loud voice echoed. Hell Crown Prince, it's not your turn to be arrogant in the great metropolis heaven. Deep in the space, another ripple of energy came. A new battle had begun. When Lin Fei entered, he wasn't tempted by the treasures formed by the sun, moon, and stars. Senior Black Yao's words couldn't be wrong. There must be an eternal emperor's treasure inside. Giving up the watermelon for a sesame seed wasn't what Lin Fei wanted. They're so strong. Deep in the space, energy rippled and the sun, moon, and stars fell. The scene of the 5 fighting against the Hell Crown Prince was spectacular. I know that woman. Isn't she the one who went to the 9 nether secret realm? So you are called Yu Linglong. Lin Fei's eyes scanned the area, and soon after his gaze landed on the area behind them. An item appeared in his eyes. It was 5 black keys that were glistening brightly and they were floating in the air. A colossal creature kept blowing out magical abilities, creating ripples. Clearly, it was trying to break through the restrictions. Hell Crown Prince's 9-headed Hell Snake. Senior Black Demon, are you referring to those keys? Asked Lin Fei. That's right, it's those keys. No matter what, you have to get one of them. Black Demon's voice came. That's the Great Emperor's key, the key to open the great emperor's treasure. It really is the great emperor's treasure. Lin Fei took a deep breath. Although he had guessed earlier that the black demon in the senfu wasn't ordinary, he still didn't know what it was. Hearing this, Lin Fei was shocked. The treasure of the eternal emperor. What a tempting existence. Anyone would be tempted by it. You've improved rapidly. I was planning to tell you later. But who would have thought that you and Fatty would accidentally enter the plentiful treasure Immortal King's tomb? They are the great emperor's keys collected by plentiful treasure Immortal King. This is your opportunity. Even I have to admit that you're very lucky. Black Demon said. Lin Fei immediately had a question. Plentiful treasure Immortal King has 5 great emperor's keys. Why didn't he go there himself? Instead, he stayed in the stone coffin. It's not as simple as 5 keys to open Master's tomb. You also need to cultivate Master's secret art and be acknowledged to be qualified. Black Demon said disdainfully. Master's methods aren't something that an Immortal King can peek at. Lin Fei seemed to have understood something. So you're saying that 5 great emperor's keys require 5 great emperor's descendants? Only then can it be opened? You're smart, but it's a pity that you're only half right. Master was a peerless expert among great emperors. The treasures he left behind are comparable to a superforce. Black Demon harumphed. In order to choose a successor, Master refined a total of 10 great emperor's keys and chose one of them as the successor. You're just one of the candidates. Lin Fei felt bitter. It seemed like the treasures of an eternal great emperor weren't that easy to obtain. He was stunned. There are 5 great emperor's keys here. What about the rest? Once the great emperor's key appears, the other great emperor's keys will appear at the same time. If you want to obtain the great emperor's keys, you'll face a fierce battle. Black Demon said calmly. What you need now is to obtain the great emperor's keys left behind by Master and inherit the benefits within them. Let me tell you one more thing. Once that little snake breaks the great emperor's key, the great emperor's keys will leave the stone coffin and fall into the hands of the successor. Be prepared. Lin Fei's heart skipped a beat. The 5 great emperor's keys would find their own masters? What a joke. Be careful. The restriction is about to break. Senior, do I have to forcefully take them in order to obtain the right? The Black Demon did not make a sound and fell into silence. Damn it, the eternal great emperor is really willing to go through so much trouble. I've cultivated the eternal godly fist, and am considered the successor. But I still have to risk my life. That's too much of a loss. Lin Fei cursed in his heart, but he knew that if he couldn't get his hands on one of the great emperor's keys, he would lose the right to inherit the great emperor's keys. Judging from Senior Black Demon's words, it seems like there's something special about the great emperor's key. It must be an incredible treasure. Lin Fei squinted his eyes. In the depths of the great emperor's senfu, a blurry figure appeared and said with a gloomy voice, "It's been 1,000,000 years. Master's treasures are finally going to start. I wonder if this kid can, once he inherits the great emperor's keys, the Netherworld Palace." The figure fell silent. Bang, 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 after a series of attacks from the 9-headed hell snake. Its strength was no weaker than a peak human rank Immortal King. In addition to its 9 heads, it was equivalent to 9 human rank Immortal Kings. Walala, walala, after a series of attacks, the restriction began to ripple continuously. It seemed like it was on the verge of breaking. Piss off! The Crown Prince of Hell's fist glowed brightly and knocked the people surrounding him flying. He managed to regain his freedom for a short period of time. He then charged above the restriction and slammed his hand downward. A black glow shone brightly as he displayed his formidable god body. Ha ha ha! The great emperor's key. I've paid a huge price for it. Open it now, no one can stop me. Bang, 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 the Crown Prince's body expanded rapidly. With 3 heads and 6 arms, he unleashed a black glow on the restriction. Crack, 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 crack. The Crown Prince of Hell and the nine-headed Hell Snake worked together. In just a short period of time, the energy of the restrictions set up by the plentiful treasure Immortal King was depleted and the barriers shattered. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Chapter 935. No one had expected the plentiful treasure Immortal Emperor to have collected the keys left behind by the Eternal Monarchs and hid them in his stone coffin. The Crown Prince of Hell activated his divine body. To his surprise, the keys broke free from the restrictions and flew in all directions as if they had a mind of their own. Stay here. The Crown Prince of Hell activated the Hand of Hell. It covered the 5 keys and took control of China. He would not allow any of the keys to fall into the hands of others. It was as if the world had become a part of his palm. The 5 great Emperor keys fell into his control and slowed down. Just when the Crown Prince of Hell was brimming with confidence, the great Emperor keys burst forth with blinding light and pierced through the air, piercing through the Crown Prince of Hell's demonic hand. Bang, bang, bang! 2 of the keys broke through the restrictions of the stone coffins and flew out of the coffins. No one could stop them, and they were being collected. The Crown Prince of Hell was startled. His godly body of hell failed to control the keys. His eyes flickered with anger. Where do you think you're going? The Crown Prince of Hell charged at the nearest key, while his battle pet, the 9-headed Hell Snake, lunged at the second key. F***K, the Grand Emperor keys burst forth with divine might, breaking free from Lin Fei's control. Lin Fei hesitated for a moment, and a Grand Emperor key brushed past his shoulder. Come here. Lin Fei showed himself and waved his hand, grabbing at the keys. He would not let them escape his control. Kid, how dare you steal from the sacred palace? 3 figures flew over and took out their saint weapons. The 3 saint weapons were of high quality. Without any hesitation, they smashed down on Lin Fei's god-demon body. Clank, clank, Lin Fei did not dodge the attacks. The head in the middle turned around with a cold glint. You're asking for it. His arm expanded and slammed down on them. The violent divine power was like a gust of wind that sent them flying. The ones who attacked were obviously from the sacred palace. The 2 senior sisters went after one of the keys, while they went after the other key. Who would have thought someone would be faster than them? Cough, cough, cough. This slap from Lin Fei did not explode with divine power, but the divine power of 200,000 dragons was enough to cause them to vomit blood incessantly, and their divine artifacts were simultaneously damaged. Continue to attack. I don't believe that Kid's divine body can endure it. The 3 of them used their saint artifacts, yet they were unable to suppress that brat. They couldn't help but be enraged. They couldn't gain any advantage against the Crown Prince of Hell, but now a brat dared to act arrogantly above their heads. This was a slap to their faces. Boy, how dare you attack a disciple of the divine palace? Surrender now. The 3 saint artifacts erupted with holy light, and immortal sounds rang out incessantly. They activated them with all their might and consumed medicinal pills to activate them. They wanted to kill this brat. Reckless, seeing them chasing after him, Lin Fei frowned. People from the Celestial Palace are really persistent. I spared their lives, but they still dare to stop me from taking the monarch's key. Before, when he attacked, Lin Fei wanted them to retreat. The Celestial Palace was very powerful and had a deep background. He didn't want to offend them. There was no need. But they didn't give up and attacked unscrupulously, treating his kindness as malicious intent. This made Lin Fei furious. They really thought he was easy to bully. Go, go, go. This time, Lin Fei didn't hold back. 3 demonic hands grabbed the 3 saint artifacts. No matter how the saint artifacts struggled, they couldn't move. With a thought, cracking sounds rang out, and the 3 disciples of the divine palace vomited blood again. Our saint artifacts. The 3 of them suddenly had bitter expressions, and their eyes were full of resentment. I gave you face, but you don't want it. Go to hell. Lin Fei was not a person who liked to kill. People from the Celestial Palace were shameless. No matter who they were, he would kill them first. Moreover, he had destroyed their saint artifacts, turning them into scrap. Bang, bang, bang. A terrifying palm force slammed down, blasting open their saint armors. They kept vomiting blood, and their faces were full of shock. Only now did they realize that this boy's strength was more powerful than they had imagined. The divine power of 2,000,000 dragons crushed them on the spot. They couldn't resist it at all. In a few breaths, they were smashed into pieces. Oh no, my 3 junior brothers! Yu Linglong was fighting with the 9-headed hell snake when the aura of the 3 junior brothers disappeared in the stone coffin. Suddenly, the scene changed. She saw a giant smashing the 3 senior brothers to death. It's him, the boy from the Holy Heaven Academy. Yu Linglong's beautiful eyes were filled with surprise. She recognized him at a glance. This king of the Holy Heaven Academy's genius had suppressed everyone and killed the geniuses of the academy. He was like a big demon that didn't come into the world. Last time, in the 9 secluded secret realm, she chose to leave, and the disciples of the academy survived. What's going on? How long has it been? That boy's strength reached such a level in such a short time. He killed 3 junior brothers. The cultivation of those 3 junior brothers wasn't that great, but they were all mid-level, perfected golden immortals with the help of saint weapons. He actually killed them all in one breath. Another black-clothed woman was shocked. As soon as the 2 sent out their divine scents, the 9-headed hell snake rushed over and roared. The sound wave attack made their blood and chi churn. Let's defeat the 9-headed hell snake and get the great emperor's key first. Yu Linglong was full of fear for Lin Fei. If she had known earlier, she wouldn't have let her 3 junior brothers die. That person was a demon. Inside the stone coffin, Lin Fei killed the 3 disciples of the divine palace. It only took a few breaths. Ha ha ha, so it's a treasure. In a few breaths, the great emperor's ki increased the distance between them. When Lin Fei caught up, he stretched out his hand and grabbed it. Inside the stone coffin, a few people appeared out of thin air. Brett, so you're here. A cold killing intent instantly locked onto Lin Fei. The disciples of the Nether Palace charged in as well. When they saw Lin Fei, they were enraged. They took out their sage tools and charged over. You 2 go up. I'll take the treasure. There were originally 5 disciples of the Nether Palace, but only 3 remained. 2 of them had died at Han Lai's hands. When they saw Lin Fei, they treated him as their mortal enemy. If it weren't for Lin Fei's tricks, their 2 junior brothers wouldn't have died at the hands of the people from the Netherworld realm. Scram! Lin Fei executed the sacred dragon step and arrived before the 2. He raised his hand, and divine energy surged out, knocking away the sage tools. Then he punched the sage tools each, bursting forth tenfold. The 2 disciples of the Nether Palace were already filled with rage. They received a punch each and were sent flying. Then their 6 arms swatted at the remaining disciples of the Nether Palace. Indestructible netherworld body. Hao Feng's expression changed slightly. He also turned into a giant and cultivated a powerful body-tempering art. He raised his fists and met Lin Fei's attack. Bang! Bang! Divine energy exploded as the fists collided with each other. Hao Feng's tough, indestructible netherworld body cracked. He couldn't take Lin Fei's punches head-on. You have a special bloodline. Scram! The monarch's key was about to fly out if he wasn't careful. Lin Fei panicked. Once he got out, all the experts would come out. It wouldn't be easy to snatch it away. Bang! 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 The demon god's hand that contained the power of 2,000,000 dragons slammed down. It didn't waste time talking to the disciples of the Nether Palace. Hao Feng struggled to resist such an overbearing attack. The treasures around him exploded, and the sun, moon, and stars fell. Impossible. He's just a brat from the lower world. How can he have such divine energy? One of Hao Feng's arms exploded. The divine energy swept over and exploded in his body. He couldn't stop it. He could only watch as Lin Fei lunged at the monarch's key. "Come here." Lin Fei clenched his teeth. He shook off the disciples of the Nether Palace and lunged at the monarch's key. The demon god's hand slammed out, breaking the void and affecting the monarch's key. The monarch's key landed in his hand. Bang! 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 The monarch's key exploded with a blinding light that contained a world-destroying attack. The demon god's hand exploded on the spot. The monarch's key wanted to escape. "You're mine." The divine-grade demon god's hand pressed down again, suppressing the monarch's key. Even so, cracks appeared on the demon god's hand. "Senior Black Demon, how do I subdue the monarch's key?" The monarch's key wasn't just a normal kind of terrifying. After the divine-grade demon god's hand suppressed it, Lin Fei felt the pressure. "Lin Fei, you lowly brat, the treasure isn't something you can subdue." Hao Feng, who had been knocked back, took out a holy saber. It gave off a bright, holy light and gave off a dangerous aura. Hao Feng's divine energy was at a disadvantage. Seeing that Lin Fei was suppressing a treasure, he realized that his opportunity had come. The holy saber sent out a resplendent saber light that was 300 meters long, locking onto Lin Fei. "You still dare to come?" Lin Fei was infuriated. The people of the Nether Palace were also displeasing. "Die." The demon god's hand slammed towards the saber light. The saber light exploded and the demon god's hand was injured. The saber wasn't ordinary. It was extremely powerful. They were evenly matched. Whoosh! Just as the saber light was about to be destroyed, a terrifying beam of holy light shot out. It broke through all restrictions and flashed through Hao Feng's forehead. "That's an ancient saint artifact." With a bang, Hao Feng, a peak mortal-ranked Immortal King, exploded and died. "Damn it! I wasted an ancient saint artifact." A peak mortal-ranked Immortal King wasn't that easy to kill. If it was under normal circumstances, Lin Fei wouldn't mind exhausting his opponent to death. But right now, obtaining the treasure was more important. He couldn't afford to waste time. He used the ancient sun-shooting divine arrow to kill his opponent in one shot, reducing the pressure. Lin Fei had calculated that the Nether Palace's disciple must have thought that he was strong and didn't have any treasures. But who would have thought that he had the ancient sun-shooting divine arrow? After some calculations, he killed his opponent. "Lin Fei, hurry up and refine the monarch's key." A voice sounded in Lin Fei's mind, followed by a technique to collect the monarch's key. Lin Fei was overjoyed. He activated the technique and left his mark on the monarch's key. The struggling monarch's key stopped. "There's a restriction." Chapter 936. Lin Fei was dumbfounded. "There's a restriction in the Great Emperor Key? What's going on?" The first restriction in the space of the Great Emperor Key was as vast as the starry sky. The majestic aura showed that there was something different inside. "Senior Black Demon, why is there a restriction in the Great Emperor Key? Is there something different about it?" Lin Fei asked Senior Black Demon. To be able to place a restriction in the Great Emperor Key, it was definitely not ordinary. "Kid, quickly break the first restriction. There will be benefits that you can't imagine." Black Demon's excited voice sounded. "Benefits?" Lin Fei's eyes lit up. Lin Fei didn't doubt Senior Black Demon's words. There was no need to lie to him. "Open for me." Lin Fei, who had 3 heads and 6 arms, was 100 zhang tall. He stopped and slapped the first restriction with his arms. Hundreds of palms landed on the restriction. Rumble! As soon as the seal was activated, a pitch-black, demonic beast giant appeared. It looked ferocious, and without saying a word, it rushed forward with its huge body. It opened The giant monster formed by the restriction looked ferocious. It wasn't an ordinary monster. To be able to block the three-headed, six-armed monster's attack, it was really extraordinary. Again, Lin Fei went up to meet it. There was nothing to worry about. The giant demonic beast was not simple. Its defense was astonishing, and since it couldn't use any divine abilities, its punches were all over the place. Lin Fei had encountered a rare opponent. After a long time, Lin Fei felt that it was strenuous. The first restriction set by the Eternal Great Emperor was indeed not simple. If an ordinary person entered, they wouldn't be able to block the giant monster's attack. To put it bluntly, the giant monster's spiritual sense was definitely not weak. It would cause injuries. Lin Fei, whose spiritual sense was blurred, was able to fight evenly with the giant monster with his 3 heads and 6 arms. He was shocked. If the first restriction was so powerful, what about the later ones? I can't. If this continues, my spiritual sense won't be able to block it. The giant monster was ferocious. Lin Fei, whose spiritual sense was blurred, couldn't display its true strength. After a long time, it was very bad. 30 minutes later, Lin Fei's spiritual consciousness began to show signs of collapsing. He could not hold on for too long. Hua, the giant demonic beast, attacked again. Lin Fei barely managed to block it. He wondered if he should retreat and try again next time. Suddenly, the giant demonic beast dispersed. The first restriction was broken. That's it. Lin Fei stared blankly for a moment before revealing a joyful expression. I understand now. The first layer of restrictions only needs to block the giant monster for a certain amount of time. What are the benefits of this? With great difficulty, Lin Fei managed to block the monster giant's storm-like attacks. He couldn't help but look forward to what would happen next. Phew! A majestic aura descended from the sky. In that instant, Lin Fei felt as if he was bathed in a spring breeze. This is... Lin Fei was shocked. Life essence. Lin Fei would never have guessed that there was life essence hidden under the first restriction of the Great Emperor Key. My lifespan. A large amount of life essence rolled like clouds and rushed into Lin Fei's body. His lifespan continued to increase. So good. As the life essence entered his body, his lifespan increased. It was an indescribable feeling that he had never felt before. In the past, Lin Fei didn't have a clear grasp of his lifespan. However, with the arrival of a large wave of life essence, his lifespan became clearer. At first, it was more than 3,000 years. It continued to increase. 4,000 years, 5,000 years, 8,000 years, 9,000 years, and finally, 10,000 years. Boom! When his lifespan reached 10,000 years, Lin Fei's demonic aura started to change. An ancient demonic aura flowed out of his bloodline. Lin Fei's 100 zhang tall body began to grow. It broke through 3,000 zhang, 50,000 zhang, 50,000 zhang, 100,000 zhang, 200,000 zhang, 300,000 zhang, and only then did it stop. My body has reached 300,000 zhang. Lin Fei's jaw dropped. In his mind, there was more information. He instantly understood. So that's how it is. I understand now. It turned out that the taller a god devil was, the more powerful they were. Normally, Lin Fei would have reached a limit after reaching 10,000 zhang. But by chance, his lifespan increased and his god devil body increased, reaching 300,000 zhang. In the ancient era, 300,000 zhang was considered a youth. 300,000 zhang was only the beginning. It was rumored that ancient god devils had reached a height of 1 million zhang. Their true strength was monstrous. My divine power? Lin Fei was shocked. My divine power went from 200,000 dragon god power to 1 million dragon god power. Isn't this too terrifying? At 300,000 zhang, Lin Fei could feel the surging divine power in his body. It was as if he could tear apart the void with a single thought. This was a supreme power that could destroy anything with a wave of his hand. A great harvest, a truly great harvest. After his lifespan reached 10,000 years, it slowed down and finally stopped at 50,000 years. His god-devil body didn't change, but the god-devil aura on his body thickened. Brat Lin, you're really a monster. You made your god-devil body grow to 300,000 zhang. Every move of yours has 1,000,000 dragon god power. Senior Black Demon had seen everything. Master left behind the Great Emperor Key to increase one's lifespan. He probably didn't expect Lin Fei to improve his god-devil body to the youth stage. In other words, the youth stage was the growth stage. Lin Fei chuckled and said, "Do you think I can open the second layer of restrictions?" With the first seal opened, Lin Fei's lifespan increased to 20,000 years. Naturally, he wanted to know the next seal. You won't be able to break through. My strength has increased greatly. Is that still not enough? Lin Fei smiled bitterly. If you don't believe me, go ahead and try. After hesitating for a while, Lin Fei decided to give it a try and activated the second layer of restrictions. With just a single move, the 300,000 zhang tall god-demon body was smashed into pieces and knocked out of the martial monarchy. Cough, cough, cough. With his divine sense damaged, Lin Fei vomited blood. What a terrifying palm. It shattered my divine sense. That's a god-devil body formed by my divine sense. Lin Fei didn't know how to describe that palm. Terrifying, Brat Lin, you have to be content. 50,000 years of lifespan is enough for you to cultivate to a very high level. Black Demon said earnestly. You have to be careful when the Great Emperor Key appears. The location of the eternal Great Emperor's treasure has always been coveted. All kinds of experts, even great emperors, will be tempted. Any one of you will face great danger in a short period of time. I understand. Lin Fei also felt the pressure. However, his god-devil body had grown. The fourth transformation god-devil body had reached the peak in the blink of an eye. He was only one step away from the fifth transformation god-devil body. His defense had greatly increased, especially his divine power, which was enough to sweep through a group of experts. Ah, Lin Fei, you actually killed Senior Brother Haofeng. Senior Brother Haofeng, you died so miserably. Chapter 937. After they were knocked away, they were all injured and couldn't help in time. Who would have thought that Lin Fei would kill their senior brother, Haofeng, in such a short time and die in the northern underworld chaotic space territory? Their mission was to kill Lin Fei and take revenge for their junior brother Luotian. But now, not only did they lose two of their junior brothers, even their senior brother, Haofeng, failed miserably. Lin Fei was too cunning. He lured them into a trap and caused them to fight with the people from the underworld realm, losing two of their junior brothers. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in such a passive situation. Kill! A set of black sacred armor appeared on the two disciples of the Nether Palace. It was the Black Cloud sacred armor, which was one level lower than the Zilong sacred armor. Sacred light protected them as they took out their sacred weapons. Under their desperate attacks, the sacred weapons unleashed 120% of their power. They turned into two beams of light that shot forward one after another. They were going all out. The power of the sacred weapons couldn't be underestimated. With the protection of the Black Cloud sacred armor, they planned to fight to the death with Lin Fei. Bastards who are tired of living. The 300,000 zhang tall Lin Fei had the ancient god-fiend aura around him. The aura turned into ancient runes that swam around him. Lin Fei stretched out his hand and grabbed. His 5 fingers were like heavenly pillars, rumbling as if they were shaking the heavens. They were sonorous and forceful, crushing the void. The power of the 2 saint artifacts erupted, shooting out holy light. It was like scratching an itch on his finger. It didn't hurt at all. If it was before, Lin Fei would definitely be injured. But now, The power of the sacred weapons couldn't break through his defense. Clank, clank. Lin Fei flicked his fingers. The two fingers hit the sacred weapons, and they exploded into pieces. PFFF, PFFF. The two disciples of the Nether Palace were shocked when the two sacred weapons exploded. He destroyed our sacred weapons with just a flick of his fingers. Not good. Let's go. He has the Grand Emperor's key, and his strength has increased greatly. We're no match for him. The Nether Palace's disciples were quite knowledgeable. They realized that Lin Fei's strength had improved greatly. He had broken their divine tools with just a finger. They were far from being a match for him. You want to leave? Go down and accompany your senior brother. Lin Fei flicked his finger again, shooting out two balls of air that tore through the void. One on the left and one on the right, they landed on the bodies of the two. 10 million dragons exploded with divine power, causing their internal organs to rupture and their bodies to explode. The black cloud divine armor on their bodies was badly damaged. This is the true might of a fiend god. Just a small burst of power was enough to kill them easily. What a waste of two black cloud sacred armors. Lin Fei made a grabbing motion with his 5 fingers, and the black cloud sacred armor landed in his hand. It was broken and incomplete, unable to withstand the destructive power of 10 million dragons. The Nether Palace's people all died in the northern underworld chaotic space field because of me. I'm afraid they will send another group of powerful disciples. Now that my strength has improved greatly, I'll kill as many as they come. He took their storage rings and found many good things, such as divine tools and armors, but their grades were not as high as the black cloud sacred armor. Now that my strength has improved greatly, it's time to vent my anger on the Hell Crown Prince. Lin Fei became bold. And the 2 women from the Divine Palace are also troublesome. Why don't I take care of them as well? Lin Fei had become bold after killing the Nether Palace's disciples. Plus, he had the Grand Emperor's key. Once the news got out, it would definitely be a big problem. Taking care of the people in the know could save him a lot of trouble. Lin Fei had always been bold. When he said he would do it, he activated his 300,000 zhang tall body and attacked. He didn't know what kind of treasure the stone coffin was, but it had an infinite space that could accommodate Lin Fei's battle body. Soon, Lin Fei saw the 2 women from the Divine Palace fighting the Hell Crown Prince. Unknowingly, the Hell Crown Prince had suppressed one of the Grand Emperor's keys. After returning, he and his battle pet, the 9-headed Hell Snake, were fighting the women from the Divine Palace. Hell Crown Prince, you've already obtained one of the Grand Emperor's keys. Why are you fighting for the other one? Yu Linglong took out an exquisite 9-layered pagoda, which was of a high grade and blocked the Hell Crown Prince's attack. The Hell Crown Prince was in high spirits. If it weren't for you, the 5 Grand Emperor's keys would all belong to this Crown Prince, and nothing would have happened. The 2nd Grand Emperor's key belongs to me and you, Yu Linglong. Rumor has it that you're one of the most beautiful fairies in the heavenly world. This Crown Prince has obtained the inheritance and will definitely become a supreme expert in the future. If you're willing to be this Crown Prince's woman, I can let bygones be bygones. Otherwise, this Crown Prince will personally capture you and make you my wife. How shameless. Yu Linglong looked at him coldly. Exquisite 9-layered pagoda, suppress the void. Swish, the exquisite 9-layered pagoda flew above the Hell Crown Prince's head and expanded infinitely, reaching a height of 10,000 zhang. Cracking sounds came from the Hell Crown Prince's body. Junior sister, hurry up and take the Grand Emperor's key. I'll hold him back. The Hell Crown Prince's body exploded and regenerated. The terrifying might of the exquisite 9-layered pagoda heavily injured the Hell godly physique. What a good Yu Linglong, trying to confuse this Crown Prince. What a good exquisite 9-layered pagoda. This Crown Prince has truly underestimated you. The Hell Crown prince laughed coldly. Activating his hell, godly physique, he resisted the exquisite 9-layered pagoda suppression. The Grand Emperor's key belongs to this crown prince. No one can take it away. The other black-robed woman flicked her sleeves, and her figure expanded explosively, sweeping towards the Grand Emperor's key, wanting to snatch it away. Roar! Heavenly fire and lightning bolts shot up from below. The Hell Crown Prince's gigantic figure flew up, tearing his sleeves apart. With a muffled groan, he lost his chance. 9-headed Hell Serpent! They had neglected the fact that the Hell Crown Prince's 9-headed Hell Serpent was a peak mortal-ranked immortal king. Even experts of the same level wouldn't be able to contend against it. Whoosh, 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 the 9-headed Hell Serpent opened its mouth, unleashing 9 different types of attacks. Heavenly fire, lightning bolts, and water filled the air. The black-robed woman quickly pulled out a saint item and backed up, not daring to take the attack head-on. The attack forced the black-robed woman back, and the 9-headed Hell Serpent sneered as one of its yellowish-brown heads opened its mouth and sucked in a black vortex toward the Grand Emperor's key. Just when the 9-headed Hell Snake was about to take the Grand Emperor key, an enormous hand appeared, fully 30,000 meters tall, and crushed down onto the black vortex. The 9-headed Hell Snake was enraged, and cracking sounds could be heard coming from its enormous body as it was completely immobilized. Crack, 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 crack. Yang Qi's eyes widened. "It's you!" The 9-headed Hell Serpent exclaimed. "Of course it's me. What, surprised?" With a swooshing sound, another gigantic palm shot out from the void, slamming solidly onto the 9-headed Hell Serpent's body. The defenses of the 9-headed Hell Serpent that not even a peak-stage human-ranked immortal king was able to break through exploded inch by inch. Not a single part of the snake's body was left intact. "Your strength. How did you improve so quickly?" The 9-headed Hell Serpent knew that this brat wasn't strong enough to deal with the 9-headed Hell Serpent. But now, this brat had actually broken through the 9-headed Hell Serpent's defenses. "The Grand Emperor's key is mine now." Lin Fei grabbed out with his hand, unleashing boundless god power to break the suppression of the Grand Emperor's key. The Grand Emperor's key wanted to leave, but it couldn't move at all. Lin Fei easily grabbed it. "That belongs to us. How can you take it?" The black-robed lady who was forced to retreat was stunned. She was unable to believe that the Holy Heaven Academy's Lin Fei was able to suppress the 9-headed Hell Snake in a single breath. Even she herself did not think that she would be able to withstand the might of the 9-headed Hell Snake. "Yours." Lin Fei glared at the black-robed woman, causing her heart to clench. She felt immense pressure and couldn't speak. "Little snake, didn't you want to eat me just now?" Lin Fei raised his hand and slapped the 9-headed Hell Snake. Godly power exploded on its body, and one of the black heads exploded. The remaining 8 heads gritted their teeth and said, "Stinky brat, you're dead. The great Samied wants to eat you." Bang! Another head exploded. The 9-headed Hell Snake, Samied, had gone completely mad. "Ah, you're just a human. You've offended the mighty 9-headed Hell Serpent clan. I'm going to send you to the 10 levels of hell." Bang, bang, bang. Lin Fei flicked his finger, causing their heads to explode. It was cold and merciless. "How dare you threaten me? Let's see how many heads you have." In the blink of an eye, Lin Fei had destroyed 4 of the 9-headed Hell Snake's heads. The remaining 5 heads were now coughing up blood, and the enormous body of the 9-headed Hell Snake struggled violently to free itself from Lin Fei's grasp. "Master, I'm hungry." Boom! Suddenly, a terrifying aura burst out from Lin Fei's body. The noble 9-headed Hell Snake and the 5 clones were so suppressed by the aura that they couldn't move. They gasped for breath, and their eyes were filled with fear. Heavens! What kind of aura is that? Even I, the Hell Serpent, a noble race, feel fear. The noble bloodline of the 9-headed Hell Snake had always been a symbol of status. But now, facing that aura, an inextricable fear arose from the depths of their souls. It was as if their nemesis had appeared, and no matter how they tried to suppress it, it wouldn't lessen in the slightest. Yu Linglong and the Crown Prince were fighting. When the terrifying aura appeared, they were shocked to see the suppressed nine-headed hell snake trembling in fear. "It's you again, brat," the Crown Prince roared. Then he frowned and said, "This aura." Lin Fei was slightly taken aback. The voice sounded very unfamiliar, but for some reason he felt a sense of familiarity. In the next moment, a plump figure appeared in front of Lin Fei. It turned out to be a fair-skinned, chubby boy who looked to be about 5 or 6 years old. His bright eyes were currently staring at the nine-headed hell snake, drooling. "Your hairball? Master, can he eat me? Hairball is hungry." The fair-skinned, chubby boy sucked on his finger and looked at the nine-headed hell snake. The nine-headed hell snake, Samied, felt a chill run down its spine. It couldn't believe that a fair-skinned, chubby boy was salivating about to eat it. Glaring at the boy, it said, "You little brat, you dare to eat the mighty nine-headed hell snake? Do you believe me when I say that I'll roast you and swallow you whole?" Chapter 938. The nine-headed hell snake was dumbfounded. So were the 2 women from the sacred palace. The Crown Prince of Hell, suppressed by the exquisite pagoda, was also surprised. The nine-headed hell snake, with a noble bloodline, was one of the symbols of the strong in the underworld. Back then, in order to obtain a nine-headed hell snake, the Crown Prince's empire had expended a great deal of money and energy, barely managing to acquire one. The subsequent training of the nine-headed hell snake allowed the Crown Prince to achieve what he deserved. The Crown Prince was livid when he heard a brat boasting that he would eat the nine-headed hell snake. No one in the underworld would dare to say something like that. Not everyone could eat a nine-headed hell snake as they pleased. Not only would a snake fail to swallow an elephant, but it would also suffer. Lin Fei had always believed that Hairball needed a long time to transform. The primordial evil dragon wasn't easy to transform. From the lower realm to the upper realm, it had devoured a great number of immortal beasts and savage beasts, turning it into a bottomless pit. Yet it still hadn't succeeded. Lin Fei was shocked by Hairball's transformation. After the transformation, it was chubby and fair, completely different from the ferocious image he had in mind. If not for the fact that Lin Fei knew that this fair and chubby little brat in front of him was Hairball, he would definitely have suspected that this was a wild child that had popped out of nowhere. "Hairball, are you sure you can eat him?" Lin Fei asked. It wasn't easy to deal with the nine-headed hell snake before his strength increased. Only after his strength improved did he manage to suppress it. "He's just a little snake. Eat him, eat him." The nine-headed hell snake split into 5 bodies, suppressing its trembling body. "Brat, I'm going to eat you. I'll swallow you in one gulp as punishment for your lawlessness." With a thought, Lin Fei withdrew his suppression. "Go." In fact, he wanted to see how strong Hairball was after transforming. His consciousness couldn't see through Hairball since it didn't contain any immortal energy. Even though Hairball was no match for it, Lin Fei easily suppressed the nine-headed hell snake. "Little snake, don't move. I'm coming to eat you." Hairball's actions were childish and laughable, the standard behavior of a brat. Not many people would dare to call the nine-headed hell snake a little snake. "You dare to provoke the mighty nine-headed hell snake." The nine-headed hell snake, Satsuma, had a cold look in his eyes. Before he could finish speaking, a figure pounced on one of the doppelgangers. A soft, white fist violently punched the doppelganger. This seemingly ordinary punch immediately sent the nine-headed hell snake flying. "Weak, so weak!" Hairball danced with joy. She was very excited. This was the first time she had fought. "What speed! It's on par with my sacred dragon steps." Lin Fei was startled. Could this be a movement technique passed down by the ancient evil dragon race? Or Hairball inherited the ancient evil dragon's ability. My doppelganger, the nine-headed hell snake, Satsuma, was dumbfounded, even with his powerful strength and abnormal defense. He was sent flying by a brat with a single punch. He was dumbstruck, unable to react. Swish! 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 The 5 nine-headed hell snakes turned around and rushed forward, spitting out divine abilities. They didn't intend to give the brat any chance to attack. If Hairball can't block it, I'll suppress it. Lin Fei observed the situation and made a judgment. Hairball rolled her eyes. You can transform, so can I. Transform. 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 Boom. A terrifying aura instantly erupted from Hairball's body. A gigantic black shadow that blotted out the sun appeared. It was tens of thousands of meters tall and had a pair of black wings that were covered in mysterious ancient runes. The ferocious aura it exuded was like that of an ancient ferocious beast, savage to the extreme. What a terrifying aura! I can't even breathe. The black-clothed woman retreated, her face pale. She was completely frightened by the enormous figure. An ancient ferocious beast, the overlord of a region. As soon as Hairball transformed, her terrifying aura pressured the entire sarcophagus, the domineering aura of a king. As soon as the enormous figure appeared, Hairball waved her hand and grabbed. A nine-headed hell snake was frightened and fell onto Hairball's claw. Hairball opened its bloody mouth and swallowed the nine-headed hell snake. So hungry, so hungry! An extremely powerful nine-headed hell snake was eaten by Hairball in less than a breath's time. It didn't even have the chance to jump. You're the extinct ancient evil dragon. Satsuma, the nine-headed hell snake, revealed a rare horrified expression. Under the suppression of the aura, it couldn't move. Especially the words ancient evil dragon, it was extremely terrifying, stimulating this noble nine-headed hell snake. So hungry, so hungry! Furball displayed the might of a primordial evil dragon, accurately grabbing one. In terms of bloodline, primordial evil dragons were nobler existences than any other dragon race. It should be known that they used dragons as food in ancient times. The nine-headed hell snake had a noble bloodline that contained the dragon bloodline. Naturally, it felt the pressure. How is that possible? Rumor has it that the ancient evil dragons were wiped out by the gods a long time ago. Not even a blade of grass is left, not even a chicken or dog is left alive. How could there be a survivor? My battle pet. Ah! The crown prince of hell's eyes were wide open. Behind him, the entire world of hell was in chaos. He could only watch as his battle pets fell into the ancient evil dragon's stomach one after another. His heart was bleeding. Having lost his battle pet, the nine-headed hell snake's influence in the empire would be greatly affected in the future. Gurgle, Gurgle, the powerful nine-headed hell serpent, had been showing off its prowess earlier, but when the primordial evil dragon revealed its true form, it immediately became its food without making a sound. So hungry, so hungry! Hairball's stomach was still growling after eating the nine-headed hell snake. She looked at the woman in black and said, "This one is delicious." The woman in black fainted on the spot after being glared at by Hairball. Hairball, don't eat people. Lin Fei didn't know whether to laugh or cry. The disciples of the Divine Palace were too timid. Hairball felt wronged and patted her stomach. But I'm still very hungry. Let's eat that guy. Lin Fei was shocked by Hairball's strength. After eating the nine-headed hell snake in 2 or 3 bites, the foodie could finally exert her strength. She pointed at the crown prince of hell. Whoosh! Hairball's huge body made her speed unrestricted. She opened her bloody mouth and bit at the crown prince of hell while shouting, "Don't move! Let me eat you!" "Explode, explode, explode," the crown prince of hell shouted. His hell divine body expanded and opened the exquisite pagoda. The pagoda was covered with cracks, as if it would break at any time. "Lin Fei, I'll remember you." The crown prince of hell tore open a scroll, and the breath of time and space shrouded it. Crack! Chapter 939. Clatter! The angry voice of the Crown Prince of Hell came from the depths of the void. A huge demonic arm fell from the void. Eat it! Furball did not hesitate to eat the demonized arm in one gulp. The powerful Crown Prince of Hell chose to use the space scroll to leave when facing Hairball. However, Hairball, who knew how to travel through the void, took a big bite out of it, leaving a demonic arm behind. Master, that guy ran too fast. I couldn't catch up. Hairball was unhappy that the Crown Prince of Hell had escaped. Lin Fei was overjoyed. He had another powerful helper. It's okay. You will have a chance to eat him in the future. His body shrank back to normal size. Voila! Furball had also returned to his human form, a fair and chubby little fellow. He curled his lips. When I reach adulthood, I guarantee I'll eat him in one bite. It seemed that Hairball was very unhappy about the Crown Prince of Hell's departure. Little did they know. On the other side, the Crown Prince of Hell was more aggrieved than anyone else. His battle pet, the nine-headed hell snake, had been eaten by an ancient overlord. It was painful to lose a helper. Phew! Falling out of the void, the Crown Prince of Hell lost his left arm. He took a deep breath and finally returned to normal. His face was pale. This Crown Prince has underestimated the power of the ancient evil dragon. It can travel through the void. I almost died in its hands. A race that could be destroyed by the gods is indeed not to be underestimated. The Crown Prince of Hell felt lucky that he had broken free from Yu Linglong's suppression and left with the space scroll. Otherwise, he would have been completely annihilated. I can't let this go. The Crown Prince of Hell was unwilling to give up. An insignificant guy had caused him to lose his battle pet. The Emperor's key has appeared. The tomb of the Eternal Emperor will appear soon. This Crown Prince will not let that kid have it easy. The opening of the tomb of the Eternal Emperor will definitely arouse the interest of many people. Everyone in the universe will be tempted. Hee, what did you do to her? Yu Linglong had the exquisite pagoda above her head and a black-clothed girl in her arms. She was on guard against Lin Fei and the kid. She fainted from fright. Lin Fei said indifferently, this woman was too overbearing. In any case, he had saved their lives. Yet, she did not even say a word of thanks. Instead, she was questioning him. As expected of someone with the exquisite heart, Yu Linglong immediately realized her mistake and explained, Senior Brother Lin, I'm sorry. I was too worried about Junior Sister's condition. If there's anything wrong, please forgive me. Lin Fei said lightly, Forget it. There's no need to forgive me. Suddenly, Yu Linglong said something shocking. Are you considering whether or not to kill us? This woman is so smart. From the beginning to the end, I didn't reveal any thoughts, but she saw through me with a glance. Another woman comparable to Sister May. Lin Fei really wanted to kill them to prevent the news from getting out. With 2 monarch keys on him, once the news spread, and with the fact that the tomb of the Eternal Monarch had yet to be opened, there would definitely be many experts rushing over. He would then have to face an endless battle. You're the second smart woman I've met. Lin Fei stared at Yu Linglong. You're also the first stinky man I've met who doesn't have tender feelings for the fairer sex. Yu Linglong said unhurriedly, Same to you. Unfortunately, you can't make a decision in the end. This little girl will take her leave first. A victorious smile appeared on Yu Linglong's face. The exquisite 9-layered pagoda came crashing down, tearing through the void and fleeing. Yu Linglong's voice could be heard. Senior Apprentice Brother Lin Fei, if I were you, I wouldn't hesitate. You have 2 Emperor keys. You'll definitely become the target of many geniuses. I hope that when the Eternal Emperor's tomb opens, I'll be able to see you again. What a cunning woman! Lin Fei couldn't stop her and could only watch as she left. Master, if I knew this would happen, I would have eaten her in one bite. Hairball patted her stomach. In our primordial evil dragon clan, everything is food. Lin Fei rolled his eyes. So you're a foodie. Do you understand? Next time, you won't be so lucky. Lin Fei really wanted to kill them. Previously, the Crown Prince of Hell had escaped. According to the Crown Prince of Hell's personality, he would definitely spread the news. It was easy to imagine that he would become the target of their pursuit at that time. He was hesitating whether he should kill the disciples of the Divine Palace or not. Yu Linglong was a meticulous person. She guessed his thoughts and left first, leaving him helpless. Now that I have 2 monarch keys, I might as well break the restrictions on the second key to increase my lifespan. Lin Fei made up his mind. Weren't you guys prepared to snatch it? I'll take the benefits first. If I can increase my strength, I might be able to live longer. Open for this, Daddy. Lin Fei's divine sense entered the Grand Monarch Key and triggered the restrictions within. He then arranged for Hairball to stand guard. With him here, they would be able to defend against any enemies. Senior sister, how do you know that he wants to kill us? Tens of millions of miles away. In a remote place in the northern dark, chaotic space domain, 2 slender figures walked out. One of them had a pale face and looked exhausted. It was Yu Linglong and Yu Linglong. Yu Linglong sat down and took out pellets to recover her immortal energy. Activating the exquisite pagoda had consumed a large amount of immortal energy, and she had to replenish it. He killed all 3 of our junior brothers. He was supposed to be an insignificant character, but who would have thought that he would turn the tables? He could kill the Prince of Hell's battle pet and our 3 junior brothers, not to mention us. Don't forget that he has 2 keys. Once the news gets out, Yu Linglong's complexion recovered after a while. Senior sister, why don't we make a move then? As long as we take out that treasure, we have a chance to get it. Xian, things are different now. Don't forget that he has the primordial evil dragon with him. That's a destructive existence. Not even the 9-headed hell snake is a match for it. Yu Linglong shook her head. There's no need to talk about this. The only thing we need to do now is to contact our people and get the monarch key from Lin Fei. Xian, who had been pretending to be unconscious to confuse Lin Fei, nodded. We'll contact the Divine Palace right away. It seems that we need to send an Earth Immortal King to suppress that bastard Lin Fei. We're 2 beauties, and he's willing to kill us. I wonder where he came from. Yu Linglong's lips curled into a smile. I wonder if he'll still be as decisive as before when the beauties on the beauty ranking appear. I'm looking forward to it. Quick, chase after the monarch, key refined by the eternal monarch. The northern dark chaotic space domain was in a state of chaos. Many forces had gathered here for the immortal king of plentiful treasure's treasure. Then, the appearance of the monarch, key, triggered a bloodbath. One-armed immortal lord, die. One-armed immortal lord, put down the monarch key, and I'll spare your life. One of the keys landed in the hand of a one-armed immortal lord. In an instant, 7 or 8 immortal lords attacked him. Their violent energy tore the void apart. The one-armed immortal lord didn't even last a breath before he was reduced to dust. At first, it was the mortal-ranked immortal lords who attacked. Then, it was the peak mortal-ranked immortal lords. The scope of the battle kept expanding. Those who were slightly weaker would lose their lives. The Eternal Monarch's tomb? Ha ha ha, I like it. With a rumble, a gigantic hand slammed down from the sky. The power it displayed surpassed the mortal-ranked immortal lords. It injured the monarch key with a single move. Sloppy immortal king, an earth-ranked immortal lord. Why is he here? When the sloppy immortal king appeared in the sky, everyone was shocked. He injured several mortal-ranked immortal lords with a single move. Even the earth-ranked immortal kings were mobilized. Sloppy immortal king, the monarch key isn't something you can covet. Put it down at once. A peak man-ranked immortal king with purple hair tried to threaten the sloppy immortal king by putting down the emperor's key. The combined strength of over 10 peak man-ranked immortal kings was not to be underestimated. They could even threaten an earth-ranked immortal king. "How dare you threaten me? Die!" Everyone saw the sloppy immortal king, casually pointing his finger. 2 complete laws landed on the body of the purple-haired immortal king and instantly killed him. The power of 2 laws. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Just a casual strike had killed an immortal king. Threat? To hell with it. Sloppy immortal king. Congratulations on your improvement in strength. However, the monarch key is fated with me. Leave. A beam of sword light shot over from the horizon. Everywhere it passed by, sword shadows could be seen everywhere, slaying all the enemies. Nobody could block a single strike. Everyone died under the might of the sword light as another earth-ranked immortal king rushed over. And monarch key attracted an earth-ranked immortal king. Mahakala sword monarch. The sloppy immortal king's expression changed. He used a supreme movement art and fled in front of everyone. Such a situation also occurred at the other emperor's key. Earth-ranked immortal kings that were usually hard to see all appeared, fighting for the key. It was unknown how many people died under the aftershocks of their attacks. Soon, the 2 great monarch keys disappeared without a trace. Everyone could only watch helplessly. Someone reminded, "Isn't there a great emperor's key in the stone coffin below?" They fought for the 2 keys, but they neglected the fact that there might be a monarch key in the black coffin. "Isn't that the crown prince of hell?" Suddenly, the crown prince of hell appeared, looking very wretched. "Everyone, there's no need to search anymore. The monarch keys are in someone else's hands." There were a total of 5 keys in the black coffin. The remaining 3 keys were taken by Lin Fei. The crown prince of hell gritted his teeth. "This person has a great treasure. I'm not his match. It's up to you whether you believe me or not." Whoosh, the crown prince of hell tore open the void and left with his subordinates. Rumble, as he left, an immortal king tried to capture him, but he was too late. Chapter 940. Northern Underworld, Chaotic Sky Domain. The Great Emperor's key left behind by the eternal Great Emperors appeared one after another. Experts who lived in seclusion came out to fight for the treasures. It was rare to see the elusive immortal kings. With the appearance of the Great Emperor's key, countless people died and were injured. The Hell Crown Prince's words were like a thunderbolt on a sunny day, shocking everyone. Lin Fei! Who is he, a disciple of a big family? Could it be another peerless expert? Northern Underworld, Chaotic Sky Domain. Outside the tomb of Plentiful Treasure's immortal king, a group of people frowned, thinking about Lin Fei. They didn't remember this person's existence. Anyone with a reputation would know about him. They really hadn't heard of the Lin Fei mentioned by the Hellcrown Prince, unless he was an Earth Immortal King or above. Once an Earth Immortal King reached the Immortal Emperor realm. Every one of them worked hard and rarely appeared in front of the public. It was understandable why they hadn't heard of the name Lin Fei. Everyone, don't be fooled. This Lin Fei isn't a famous person at all. He's just a lowly person who got lucky. Someone exclaimed in the crowd. Lowly person. Whoosh, an immortal king in the sky moved his fingers like a mountain, and a young man fell into his palm. The immortal king grabbed his neck as if he could kill him with a thought. "Sir, please calm down. We are from the Phoenix Academy." A middle-aged man, immortal king, flew out from the sky and cupped his hands towards the other party. "So you are from the Phoenix Academy." In the Eastern Domain, the Phoenix Academy was famous. Their dean was an Earth Immortal King. The middle-aged man brought it up first to avoid angering the Immortal King. "Oh, a disciple of the old ghost." The Immortal King had thick eyebrows and big eyes, his gaze like lightning. "I won't kill the old ghost's disciple. If you can't tell me who Lin Fei is, don't blame me for being impolite." In fact, everyone pricked up their ears. They wanted to know more than anyone else about the background of this Lin Fei. Don't kill me, I'll talk. Chen, she glared over with a gaze that was like a torch, and it almost scared the young man to death. The young man cried out loudly, and he didn't have the slightest bearing of a golden immortal. No matter how powerful a perfected golden immortal lord was, when facing a peerless immortal king, it would only take an instant to kill him. He wouldn't be able to withstand a single glance. Lin Fei is a disciple of the Holy Heaven Academy. It's rumored that he's the first genius to be bestowed the title of king in the last few hundred years of the Holy Heaven Academy. The great emperor bestowed him the title of King Invincible. His battle prowess is valiant, and he's unrivaled in the same realm. Ah, when the Phoenix Academy disciple said this, everyone was dumbfounded, suspecting that they had heard wrong. How could a golden immortal kid snatch the great emperor's key from the crown prince of hell? Wasn't it a bit too exaggerated? It was hard to believe. The prince of hell wouldn't scam people, would he? They had personally witnessed the miserable state of the crown prince of hell. It wasn't an intentional act. In the eyes of supreme immortal kings, there was no way this could be faked. In addition, the hell world was a mid-tier world within the Heaven Punisher realm. The crown prince of hell wouldn't lie. Kid, quickly copy Lin Fei's appearance. They were tempted. If the great emperor's key was in the hands of the peerless immortal king, they could only stare, unable to do anything. But the great emperor's key was not in the hands of the peerless immortal king, but in the hands of a golden immortal. Everything would be fine. It didn't matter if you were the peerless immortal king or not. It depended on who was lucky. The young man moved quickly, a face condensed in the sky. It was a delicate and pretty face, long hair fluttering in the wind, vivid and lifelike. Search! Everyone copied it and used their powerful divine sense to search the northern underworld chaotic sky domain. Inside the stone coffin, he's so daring. The peerless immortal king searched with his divine sense. Lin Fei's traces fell into their eyes. They tore open the void and rushed into the stone coffin. Regardless of whether the crown prince of hell's words were true or not, they had to capture Lin Fei first. Cough, cough, cough. The Phoenix Academy disciple was sent flying. The force wasn't great, but it didn't feel good either. He coughed out blood. Junior brother, are you all right? The northern underworld chaotic sky domain had always been a training ground for Phoenix Academy. They killed demons and evildoers to train their combat ability. It's nothing. I've let senior brothers worry. The northern underworld chaotic sky domain is full of chaos. It's time to leave. There's no need to continue staying here. The previous middle-aged man said in a deep voice. Even Immortal Stage, Immortal King, felt great pressure. Ming Fei, you've done very well. Holy Heaven Academy's Lin Fei boasted shamelessly, wanting to challenge all the geniuses of our Phoenix Academy. Now he can't even protect himself. When we return to the Academy, Senior Brother will help you ask for credit. Many thanks for Senior Brother's guidance. This is what Junior Brother should do. Inside the tomb of the plentiful treasures, Immortal King, many experts were fighting over the treasures. It was a reign of terror. The plentiful treasures, Immortal King, had countless treasures on him. He was a unique existence among immortal kings. Even if the treasures he left behind were not all of them, the power was not bad. For those who are hunting for treasures, every treasure left behind by the plentiful treasures Immortal King was like a naked woman. For this woman, there was no harm in killing. The black stone coffin quietly floated in the air. Without the experts of the underworld, outsiders swarmed in. There's someone there. Let's kill him first. A little golden immortal dares to come to this place. Let me send you to hell. Not long after, the people who rushed and saw a young man in black with a white, chubby child beside him. They looked harmless and immediately had evil thoughts. The child and the black man were Lin Fei and Hairball. Master said I can't eat people. It shouldn't be a problem to secretly eat a few, right? Lin Fei was in a meditative state, and Hairball was standing guard by the side. When he saw several people charging at him, his eyes rolled, and he looked back with a smile. He opened his mouth, and a huge vortex appeared. The several perfected golden immortals fell into the vortex without making a sound. Master doesn't know. Master doesn't know. Hairball peeked and secretly clapped her hands. The entrance of the stone coffin lost the experts guarding it. More and more people broke in. When they saw Lin Fei and Hairball, they had evil thoughts. As a result, they became Hairball's food. She swallowed them in big mouthfuls. Hundreds of perfected golden immortals were eaten. No one could get close to them. Hairball, you secretly ate again. After a while, Lin Fei opened his eyes. His eyes flashed, and he spat out a mouthful of ancient fiend god chi. It was many times thicker than before. His body exuded an ancient aura. Chapter 941. P.S. Thank you, Sky Snow Battle Emperor, and Crepe Myrtle Star's Tears Emotiona Degree Buffian, and the others' tips, as well as everyone's monthly votes. It's the end of the month. Those with monthly votes, cast your monthly votes. Inside the black sarcophagus, Lin Fei's body blossomed with fiend god aura, turning into fiend god runes that filled the sky. He was like an ancient fiend god, standing tall and supporting the sky. Lin Fei benefited immensely from activating the two monarch keys. A large amount of lifespan flowed into his body. His fiend god body expanded to 600,000 zhang, and his divine power increased from 1 million to 2 million. Not only that, his fiend god body broke through from the 4th transformation to the 5th transformation. The fiend god race walked on the path of power. The improvement of his body represented the improvement of his strength. A large amount of pure lifespan greatly increased Lin Fei's room for growth, allowing him to break through one after another. Fiend god body, 5th transformation. The fiend god aura turned into ancient runes, inheriting an ancient aura. It represented that he had entered the period of growth, and his future achievements were not something ordinary people could judge. Fiend god body, 5th transformation. My physical defense is impenetrable, and the ancient runes formed from fiend god aura is also a means of defense. Lin Fei's body was filled with surging divine power, like a wave, drowning everything. If I meet that old thing that's chasing me again, I'll make sure he dies a horrible death. Kid Lin, this sarcophagus is a rare ancient holy artifact. Don't waste it. Black Demon's voice was filled with enthusiasm and anticipation. All right. Lin Fei shook his body, and the fiend god runes rolled out, appearing outside the black sarcophagus. The sound of slaughter was endless, and blood flowed like a river. Plentiful treasure, Immortal King's tomb, had become a battlefield. The black sarcophagus was huge, like a giant. Lin Fei reached out and grabbed, and 100 zhang large hand reached out and grabbed the sarcophagus, but it didn't budge. Lin Fei used the divine power of 500,000 dragons, and was confident that he could grab anything that fell into his hand. Good stuff, good stuff. Lin Fei was not stupid. He immediately realized that the black stone coffin left behind by the plentiful treasures Immortal King was an incredible item. Lin Fei executed his god-fiend body, reaching a height of 600,000 feet. He turned into a towering giant and grabbed with his 6 arms. A loud rumble came from the black stone coffin. It's so heavy. Just who made this stone coffin? Lin Fei believed that something that could make Senior Black Demon speak was extraordinary. But now it seemed that it was even more extraordinary than he had imagined. Rise! With a loud rumbling sound, the void exploded, and then collapsed one after another. Kid, I've finally found you. A dazzling saber light that was 10,000 feet long appeared in the sky. The saber light was like a surging sea of blood. A blood-colored figure stood in the saber light. His gaze pierced through the void and stared at Lin Fei. Bang, 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 the blood-colored saber light swept past. The saber light was imbued with complete laws, but anyone who came into contact with it was instantly turned into dust. No one was spared, and all of them lost their lives. Boom! The saber light was too fast. With a loud rumble, the resplendent saber light slashed down on Lin Fei's god-fiend body. The blood-colored saber light engulfed Lin Fei, and a blood-colored giant with 3 heads and 6 arms appeared. It was like an octopus, and it coiled around Lin Fei's body. Lin Fei, let's see where you can run now. This old man was Blood Slave. Now that he had succeeded, a smile finally appeared on his face. An attack that was both hard and soft. Ordinary, peerless, immortal kings could not reach this level. One of Lin Fei's heads was facing the Blood Slave, and he revealed a frightened expression. He trembled and said, "Are you saying that you will only be satisfied if I show this expression?" The Blood Slave snorted coldly. "You have a sharp tongue. If it wasn't for my master wanting to capture you alive, this old man would have already chopped you in half and sent you to hell to enjoy the torture of the 18 levels of hell. Who is your master? I don't think I've offended you before, right?" Lin Fei said, secretly stopping Hairball from making a move. "Blood Slave Immortal King, why are you here?" In the void, another peerless immortal king walked out. The sea behind him surged, and sea beasts of various sizes swam up and down. This person exuded a vast and boundless aura. When this person appeared and saw the Blood Slave, his expression changed, and his eyes flashed with fear. Scram! Without saying a word, the Blood Slave slashed out, and the peerless immortal king's sea was split into 2. The saber art was domineering and ruthless, and it forced the peerless immortal king to leave. Blood Slave Immortal King, don't be too greedy. Even if you have the Sky Demon Emperor behind you, don't think of taking the 2 Emperor's keys for yourself. Be careful, or you'll anger everyone, the peerless Immortal King yelled. Courting death. Whoosh, 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 the world fell silent. The peerless Immortal King's figure disappeared. Humph, you run fast. Master's name isn't something you can blaspheme. I'll definitely kill you next time. The Blood Slave sneered, and with a wave of his hand, he sent a mortal-ranked Immortal King flying. Lin Fei came to a realization. Finally, someone wanted to deal with him. You're a subordinate of the Sky Demon Emperor. No wonder you're still lingering around. Lin Fei said, "In order to deal with me, the Sky Demon Emperor sent out an expert like you. Seems like my reputation is quite big. Humph, when you see Master, I hope you won't be so scared." The Blood Slave said indifferently, "Also, hand over the Emperor's keys. When Master sees them, he'll definitely be very happy." You. Ha ha ha. After knowing who wanted to deal with him, Lin Fei felt relieved. It was unexpected for the Sky Demon Emperor to pay attention to him so quickly. At the same time, he was also prepared. Bang, 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 Lin Fei's body trembled, and the fiend god runes exploded. Surging energy exploded from the blood-colored giant. This was the first time he used the fiend god runes. This is the fiend god talisman. Your fiend god physique has actually reached this level. The Blood Slave's eyesight wasn't bad, and he immediately recognized it. These were the fiend god runes, a common close-range attack technique of the fiend god race. They were extremely sharp, and in the current myriad heavens, only 1 in 10,000 fiend god physiques had reached this level. You have some knowledge, but this is only the beginning. Old thing, you chased me all the way here. Today this daddy will kill you. Lin Fei's tremble caused a large area of the void to collapse. The blood-colored giant on his body was so weak that it couldn't even withstand a single blow and exploded into smithereens. With this tremble, the fiend god runes displayed their terrifying power, shattering the saber light of a peak mortal-ranked immortal king. Hua, the fiend god runes surged, and countless runes turned into a river, crushing over. A dangerous aura enveloped the Blood Slave Immortal King. Eternal Divine Fist, Eternal Ksana. Lin Fei threw out a punch, and a boundless sacred energy enveloped the entire space, sealing everything between the heavens and earth. This was one of the trump cards of the eternal divine fist. Damn it, this is the ultimate technique of the eternal emperor. Why do you have it? The blood-slave immortal king's eyes widened in shock. As a servant that had followed his master for a long time, he had witnessed the glory of his master in the past. Back then, his master was still an immortal king and had some fame. However, the eternal emperor was already a famous figure at that time, a peerless expert among the martial monarchs. Even the higher-ups of the demon race had to admit that the eternal emperor had a bright future, and his strength was unparalleled. The eternal divine fist was the ultimate technique of the eternal emperor, capable of sealing the void and time. The fiend god runes exploded on the blood-slave immortal king's body, tearing his skin and flesh apart. No matter how he struggled, he couldn't break free. This is only the beginning. Lin Fei reached out his hand, and a giant finger landed on the blood-slave immortal king's body. Half of the blood-slave immortal king's body exploded, and his bones were scattered everywhere. Despite his sturdy flesh, it still shattered into pieces. Does it feel good? Lin Fei, master will definitely refine you into a puppet. Another finger landed on the blood-slave immortal king's body, and the blood-slave immortal king's body exploded again. That's a matter for the future. I already know that you're in my hands now. The eternal Xana suppressed the blood-slave immortal king completely. The ultimate technique of the eternal emperor. You won't be able to suppress me for long. The blood-slave immortal king sneered. Let's see how you're going to resist my attack. Lin Fei said calmly, I was going to kill you, but I've changed my mind. However, I've changed my mind. There's no point in killing you. I might as well let someone eat you. Master, this person's blood is boiling. He'll be very nourishing. Hairball drooled with a pitiful look. Go. The blood-slave immortal king was furious. This was truly a case of a tiger being bullied by a dog. A brat wanted to eat him? Did he really think that he was an immortal king, and that he could kill this brat with just a breath? Stop there, let me eat you. Hairball pounced forward, and coincidentally, the blood-slave immortal king regained his freedom. His saber light flashed, and a flood surged, wanting to eat this brat. I'll eat. Hairball did not move at all, but he continued to eat the saber light. He actually ate it? The blood-slave immortal king had seen many things, but he had never seen a tyrannical attack that could eat him. Again. Swish, 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 the saber light was like a net. The blood-slave immortal king was truly furious. But no matter how the blood-slave immortal king attacked, Hairball continued to eat him. An attack that could kill a man-rank immortal king was like delicious food to Hairball. Monster, he is a monster. The blood-slave immortal king wanted to retreat. A Lin Fei who had grasped the ultimate art of an eternal emperor was not easy to deal with, let alone a brat who could eat his attack. The immortal energy in his body surged, but he could not do anything to the other party. Go. The blood-slave immortal king was decisive. Where do you think you're going? Hairball turned into an afterimage, chasing after the blood-slave immortal king. He opened his mouth and a vortex appeared. The blood-slave immortal king struggled for a moment, but he could not resist the suction force of the vortex and fell into it. Lin Fei, just you wait. This is merely a clone of this old man. When my true body comes again, I will definitely teach you a lesson. A furious voice came from the depths of the vortex. Hairball burped in satisfaction. After eating an immortal king, one could not even mention how energetic he was. This caused Lin Fei to be stunned. Hairball, are you full? Hairball patted his stomach, about 30% full. There are still many of them. Should I go and eat them? He pointed at the void. Hua, hua, hua. Lin Fei's divine sense spread out and saw the grand Luo golden immortals and immortal kings, leaving one after another, clearly frightened. Chapter 942. Hairball once again showed her prowess, unknowingly scaring away the peerless immortal king who was about to make a move. Keep! Forcefully putting away the black sarcophagus, Lin Fei let Hairball use her spatial ability to escape millions of miles away. After a few breaths, they were gone. We were tricked. Quickly chase after Lin Fei. That kid has a lot of treasures on him. We can't miss it. It's related to the treasure of the Eternal Emperor. Even the Holy Heaven Academy won't dare to protect Lin Fei. Let's chase after him, lest someone else gets it first. Hairball's prowess scared the group of people. Only after they left did they realize why they were afraid of her. If everyone attacked together, it was uncertain who would eat who. Whoosh! Sounds of air braking could be heard as they chased after the direction Lin Fei left. Among them there were dozens of peerless immortal kings and countless perfected golden immortal monarchs. After they left, the people who stayed behind couldn't help but curse. The black sarcophagus was gone. The treasures left by the plentiful treasures immortal king were all plundered by Lin Fei. After cursing for a while, they turned their gazes to the remaining treasures. If they could snatch them, they would snatch them without any hesitation. As for the others, they all sent messages to their friends or their backers, describing Lin Fei in detail. It was a moving treasure trove. Brother Lin is indeed mighty and domineering. You took all the benefits. Gao Shi-san appeared out of nowhere. His eyes flashed and his eyebrows danced. Obviously, he had taken all the benefits in the tomb of the plentiful treasures immortal king. The treasure of the Eternal Emperor is about to appear. There will be a fierce battle. I must participate in such a good show. Gao Shi-san's eyes swiveled. Since they are chasing after Brother Lin, this fat grandpa will be able to beat them from behind. Hee, his fat figure flashed as he dove into the void. The great emperor's key left by the Eternal Emperor appeared in the northern underworld chaotic sky domain. This news spread like wildfire and caused a great uproar. The forces of the great metropolis world couldn't sit still. The great emperor's key appeared in the northern dark chaotic space domain. In the following days, the great emperor's keys left behind by the eternal great emperors appeared in the southern region and the western region one after another, causing another round of fighting. The peerless immortal kings who hadn't shown themselves for a very long time made their moves one after another to fight for the emperor keys. More than 10 peerless immortal kings died, but in the end, they were all snatched away by mysterious people. At this point, the 10 keys left behind by the Eternal Emperor appeared one after another. A piece of exciting news spread throughout the great metropolis heaven. Out of the 10 Emperor keys, 3 of them had fallen into the hands of a nameless brat. As such, the great metropolis heaven remembered his name, Lin Fei. For the sake of a single Emperor key, supreme immortal kings were willing to risk their lives. A brat from the Holy Heavens Academy actually managed to snatch 3 Emperor keys. Undoubtedly, this caused them to feel very unhappy. At first, no one believed it. Later on, everyone found out that this information came from the Crown Prince of Hell. The cunning Crown Prince of Hell returned to the underworld, and from there, they found out that Lin Fei had at least one great Emperor key. How could a young golden immortal who was not even a perfected golden immortal have the great Emperor's key? On the way to the Holy Heavens Academy in the Northern Domain, various forces acted upon hearing the news. Lin Fei had the great Emperor's key. Apart from that, the stone coffin left behind by the plentiful treasure immortal king had also fallen into Lin Fei's hands. All kinds of gossip became more and more intense. The spearhead was pointed at Lin Fei. Holy Heavens Academy. On a towering mountain, clouds and mist lingered around it. Immortal Qi transformed into clouds, making it look like a paradise. Martial Uncle, there are a few peerless immortal kings outside demanding that our academy hand over junior brother Lin Fei. What should we do? An elder stood under a pavilion with a worried expression. Let them do as they please, ignore them. Our Holy Heavens Academy is not a place where just anyone dares to enter. A cold voice came from the pavilion and sighed. Lin Fei, that little bastard, really knows how to stir up trouble. How long has it been since he left? And he has already attracted the attention of various forces in the great metropolis heaven. As a martial uncle, I have the heart, but the strength is insufficient. This white-clothed elder was Su Yi. After hearing this news, Su Yi felt a headache coming on. The situation was getting more and more intense. There was no doubt that there was someone behind the scenes targeting junior brother Lin Fei. This situation was very bad for junior brother Lin Fei. I'll go see martial uncle and see if he can do anything. Su Yi sighed and tore open the void. In the next breath, he appeared in a space. Hundreds of flowers were blooming, and immortal beasts of all sizes were chasing and playing. At the same time, Lin Fei's situation was not good. Since leaving the northern chaotic sky domain, Lin Fei had been chased by many people. As time passed, the number of people chasing him kept increasing, and there was a trend of him being drowned by the sea of people. Hell Crown Prince, I'll remember you. In a valley, there was a ravine with corpses everywhere, emitting a thick smell of blood. Lin Fei's face darkened. He finally understood why he was being chased all the way. It turned out that Hell Crown Prince was fanning the flames and using a borrowed knife to kill. It had to be said that this plan was very successful. In these 10 days, Lin Fei had not had a single day of peace. For example, in the battle just now, when he finally had a chance to catch his breath, a group of people attacked him. I can't continue like this. Once I'm surrounded, it'll be bad. Lin Fei thought to himself. Senior Black Demon said that the opening of the Eternal Emperor's treasury will take half a year. This half year will be for me to temper myself, and the next half year will definitely be an arduous battle. What a scam! Hairball let me into your space. Hairy Ball possessed spatial divine abilities. It formed a space within itself, swallowing him in a single gulp. Using spatial travel, he entered the depths of the void in a flash. Lin Fei's orders were simple. Dive into dangerous areas and see if they dared to chase after him. My divine force has improved greatly, and my god-fiend body has reached the 5th transformation. If I want to protect the Grand Emperor's key for the next half year, I need to increase my strength. Within the space, Lin Fei sat cross-legged. His eyes were deep in thought. My strength has improved greatly recently. I need to learn and adapt to my new fighting style. I need to get rid of the bad and get the best out of it. With the recent fortuitous encounters, Lin Fei's strength had improved greatly. However, he was still not perfect in combat. He needed to filter again and find the most suitable fighting experience for himself. It's time to take a look at the divine abilities and cultivation techniques I've collected. I'll also refine some sage treasures to increase my combat strength. It'll be best if I can arm myself to the teeth. The pearl left behind by the celestial demon is also an amazing treasure. It's best to use it and not waste it. Chapter 943. P.S. Thanks to the Heavenly Snow Battle Emperor for the tip. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The East region was in a mess. The corpse was torn apart. It had been dead for a long time, attracting a group of ferocious beasts to feast on the corpse. Along with the sound of air being pierced, there was a group of ferocious beasts' corpses on the ground. Their heads were pierced by the sword light. This was a group of Zenith Heaven Golden Immortals. They were all dressed in the same uniform with maple leaves embroidered on their chests. If anyone was here, they would definitely recognize this group of people as the Maple Leaf Valley. The Maple Leaf Valley was an assassin organization with a reputation. Whoever was targeted by them would not rest until they were dead. There were few survivors. As an assassin organization, they never acted casually. Ordinary people couldn't hire the assassins of the Maple Leaf Valley, but once they acted, it would definitely be a big deal. The fallen Immortal King would become their reputation. This group of assassins came quickly and left quickly as well. Junior sister, it seems like we're late. The people of the Maple Leaf Valley have already acted. Even the people of the Maple Leaf Valley can't sit still with the appearance of the great Emperor's key. Not long after the people of the Maple Leaf Valley left, a group of young people appeared in the void. The leader was a middle-aged man in embroidered robes. He had a dignified look in his eyes. The people behind him were all youthful and arrogant. At this moment, they were standing on an ancient beast skin. The beast skin was covered in symbols that were incomparably profound. This group of people came from the Shin Palace as a force in the great metropolis world. The Shun Palace naturally couldn't resist the temptation of the Eternal Emperor's treasure. They wanted to get a share of the action. You're a good assassin organization, but you're interfering in this matter. Even if you snatch it, you might not be qualified to own it. On the beast skin rug, a slender woman in black clothes said coldly, "The key left by the Eternal Emperor isn't something that just anyone can have. Junior sister, I heard that you suffered at the hands of that brat Lin Fei." Right in front of the beast skin carpet was a red-haired young man. He was surrounded by a group of disciples and looked very impressive. "Senior brother will definitely avenge you for this matter." His eyes were filled with adoration as he looked at you, Linglong. "Linglong, you're the best at grasping people's hearts. In your opinion, where will that brat from the Holy Heaven Academy go in the end?" The middle-aged man asked Yu Linglong. Yu Linglong lightly laughed. "I heard that the Saint Heaven's Academy is currently under pressure. A supreme immortal king has come to visit. It's impossible for Lin Fei to return to the Saint Heaven's Academy. In our great metropolis world, everyone has a portrait of Lin Fei. It's impossible for him to go to cities and cities. The only places he would go to are all sorts of dangerous places. Senior sister, are you sure?" "What nonsense are you talking about? Didn't you listen carefully? If my guess is correct, Lin Fei cultivates a fiend god body refining art. It's an ancient art, and his fleshly body is so strong that he's almost at the level of a saint. The more dangerous the place is, the more advantage he'll have." The red-haired youth had a card up his sleeve. "For half a year he will hide in a danger zone, and his chances of survival will be higher. Junior apprentice sister, don't you think so?" "Brother Xianyuan, you've already guessed it. Why bother asking me?" Yu Linglong was a little conflicted by Xianyuan Wuqing's enthusiasm. "Then let's go to a danger zone. We should be able to find the whereabouts of Lin Fei." Rumble. In a certain desert in the great metropolis world, yellow sand danced in the air. A space-time gate opened up in the sky. A huge black shadow descended from the sky. Sand and stones flew everywhere, and a large area of sand exploded. The sand beasts were turned into powder. Unknowingly, a huge red warship appeared in the sky. It was 1,000 zhang in length and covered the sky. On the deck of the warship, on the left and right sides, stood a group of young women. They were wearing light muslin and revealing clothes. They were faintly discernible and beautiful. Not only that, their strength had reached the peak of the zenith heaven golden immortal realm. They were only a step away from becoming a supreme immortal king. On the warship, there were no less than a few hundred of such beauties. In the center of the warship, on a pink bed, a red-robed young man could be seen lying there. His eyes were like peach blossoms, and his gaze was blurry. Beside him, there was another beautiful woman who had already reached the immortal king realm. Her jade-like hands moved lightly, massaging the shoulders of another handsome man. Another beautiful woman was also passing him fruits. If someone saw this, they would be shocked. Using a beautiful woman like the immortal king to massage the shoulders, it was not something an ordinary person could do. Amorous immortal king, you have quite a scene. Every time you go out, you bring your amorous woman. How envious. I really want to snatch your woman. An eccentric voice came from the other end of the desert. Dark clouds covered the sky densely, and lightning flashed. 9,000 zhang, long-boned dragons with death energy curling around them rushed out of the dark clouds. They surged up and down, shaking the world. I was wondering who it was. So it's the White Bone Crown Prince. You only rely on the bone dragons to scare people. The handsome man said indifferently, Last time you lost to me. Could it be that you have the ability to fight against me? You still dare to touch my woman? Believe it or not, I'll beat you up until your teeth fall out. Behind the 9 bone dragons, there was a huge bronze war chariot that gave off an ancient aura. It was another supreme treasure. There was a young man holding a white bone spear. He wore white battle armor and had a pale face. He gave off a cold and gloomy aura. Ha ha ha! Amorous Prince, I lost you last time. This time it might not be the same. The White Bone Crown Prince said sinisterly, I've already mastered the last stage of the great summoning technique. I can summon the kingdom of death. The handsome man on the pink bed, the amorous prince's expression changed slightly. So you've cultivated the great summoning technique to the kingdom of death. You can summon ancient experts from the kingdom of death. You're qualified to be my opponent. However, you're just an opponent. The White Bone Crown Prince laughed sinisterly. Originally, I was prepared to fight you 300 times. However, the appearance of the Eternal Emperor's treasure has alarmed the all heavens. This battle has been postponed for another day. I forgot to tell you that the geniuses of the all heavens have come to the great metropolis world. Don't die at their hands, ha ha ha. The bone dragons galloped for thousands of li, bringing with them dark clouds that covered the sky. The world changed as they rumbled. Large swathes of the desert exploded, leaving behind the White Bone Crown Prince's sinister laughter as he left. Master, do you want us sisters to kill the White Bone Crown Prince? The amorous prince waved his hand. No need. The White Bone Crown Prince is nothing. He has successfully cultivated the great summoning technique. I still have a trump card to suppress him. The most important thing now is to snatch the key left by the Eternal Emperor. I wonder if they have come. If so, it will be much more interesting. Let's see who is the real expert of the younger generation. The crimson warship turned into a beam of rainbow light and sped away. The southern region. There was a black, stagnant swamp, filled with a rancid smell and bubbling. This was a dangerous place. Many marsh fierce beasts were waiting for an opportunity to attack and devour people. If one was not careful, one would die. White bones littered the swamp. A skeleton with hollow eyes looked up at the sky as if it was unwilling to die. A marsh fierce beast crawled across the swamp. Bang! Just at this moment, a pair of huge feet descended from the sky, stepping on the swamp beast. The fiendish swamp beast exploded on the spot, starting from this swamp beast. The fierce beasts lurking within a radius of 1,000 li exploded one by one. Blood dyed the area red. Is this the Dutian Great World? The newcomer was a tall and sturdy man. His upper body was bare, and his waist was wrapped in a bright-colored beast skin. With his bare feet, he trampled a swamp beast to death, then shook a large group of swamp beasts to death. What thin immortal chi! I can't cultivate any strength here. No wonder I'm unknown in the major worlds. The burly man's eyes were cold. This world produced an eternal emperor and became famous throughout the major worlds. If not for this, it would not be worth me, Atai Gu, personally coming here. The eternal emperor was too famous in the major worlds. He was a top expert among emperors, and anyone would be tempted by the treasures he had left behind. There were even rumors that the treasures the eternal emperor had left behind were comparable to a top immortal sect. Anyone who could obtain them would be able to establish their own sect. But this was not the important point. The important point was that the eternal emperor's treasures contained treasures that could allow one to become a god. This level of secret only existed in a few powerful worlds. Atai was someone from one of these worlds. He had come to the Dutian Great World with great ambition to obtain the treasures the eternal emperor had left behind. The Emperor's key left behind by the Eternal Emperor has already alarmed the major worlds. I have to snatch it before them, or else they won't be able to take advantage of me." Atai waved his hand, and a three-headed leopard leapt out. It sat on the leopard and flew off in a certain direction. The Northern Territory. Rumble. 3 figures descended from the sky, appearing on a mountain range in the Northern Territory. "Senior brother, is this the Dutian Great World? It can't compare to our abyssal world." A young man in embroidered robes on the left sneered. "I scanned the area just now. There aren't many immortal kings here. With my strength, I can blow them up 100 times over. The people of the Dutian Great World are truly too weak." "They're not enough," the young man on the right said. The one on the right said calmly, "Senior brother, you came all the way here just for the treasure of an eternal emperor. Isn't it not worth it?" "You too, shut up." The two immediately shut their mouths. They were clearly very afraid of their senior brother. "What do you know? The eternal emperor had many accomplishments in the past. I, your senior brother, coincidentally obtained a portion of the eternal emperor's inheritance, allowing my strength to advance by leaps and bounds. Now that the treasures have opened, it's time for me, Ren Xiaoyao, to display my grand ambitions. Who told the heavens to look after me and find the emperor's key? Senior brother, in the Dutian Great World, if the old monsters don't take action, ordinary people can't do anything to us. A puny Dutian Great World probably won't dare to make a sound after hearing about our great heavenly grotto heaven." Chapter 944. The geniuses of all the great worlds had arrived. Great Metropolis World instantly became the focus of all the great worlds. While the outside world was in an uproar, Lin Fei, who was in the limelight, was staying in Hairball space, studying the magical power left by the plentiful treasure Immortal King. Hua, hua, hua. Hairball's body was like a rainbow. Following Lin Fei's instructions, she kept drilling into the depths. Those dangerous areas that were difficult to cross were as easy as drinking water. Master is really too much. What good things can there be in such a barren land? After entering the growth stage, Hairball's understanding of space had increased by more than 100 times, truly showing the ability of a space beast. "Hey, there's a fierce beast down there. Waha, Master told me to drill into dangerous places, but he didn't say that I can't eat anything." Not only could Hairball travel through the void, but she also had a pair of divine eyes that could see through the void. Although she couldn't reach this level for the time being, it was undeniable that Hairball could see very far at this moment. Whoosh! Hairball broke through the void and flew away. In the space, the man in black sat cross-legged with hundreds of jade slips floating around him. His face revealed a rare look of exhaustion. In the past few days, Lin Fei didn't move at all. He silently digested all the magical power cultivation methods, including the jade slips that he plundered from others. After continuous battles, Lin Fei understood a principle. Blindly cultivating was not a good thing. The key was to achieve mastery through a comprehensive study. It seems that mastering is not easy. Even so, I have benefited a lot. The man in black opened his eyes, showing helplessness. He shook his head gently. "I thought too much. Mastering a cultivation method is not an easy thing. My strength has improved by leaps and bounds, and my brain's calculation ability is also constantly improving. But I still can't bear the exhaustion brought by calculation and analysis. It would be great if the system update was completed." Lin Fei believed that once the system update was completed, it would definitely become a great help to him. He wanted to master the magical power cultivation method and turn it into his own unique technique. Perhaps the system could be of great help. The system had been updated for a long time, but there was still no response. Lin Fei did not know when the system would complete the update. "Let me refine this bead first." Lin Fei took out a pearl that gave off a black glow. This was the pearl that he had obtained from the Great Sun, heavenly demon back then. When the Great Sun, heavenly demon was trapped, he activated an incarnation that was powerful and left a deep impression on him. I remember the immortal emperor of many treasures left behind an 8 desolation, 6 directions, great art. Lin Fei's heart stirred, and the cultivation technique appeared in his mind. It was about refining an incarnation to become a combat helper and increase the overall combat strength. Refine. Lin Fei summoned his divine fire and erased the traces of the great sun, heavenly devil, in the depths of the bead. He left his own consciousness in the depths of the bead. Once his consciousness transformed, divine light shone brilliantly. He sat down cross-legged, like an immovable mountain. Come out. After the time it takes for an incense stick to burn, a black-robed man appeared in front of Lin Fei. His appearance and aura were exactly the same as Lin Fei's. Greetings, fellow Taoist. Lin Fei laughed. Fellow Taoist, please sit. He was overjoyed. The great sun, heavenly demon, really gave me a good treasure. So this bead is called the Dark Fetus Bead. He obtained it from a dangerous place. It is most suitable for cultivating incarnations without any negative effects. The incarnations that are cultivated will have 50% of the original's combat strength. Wait, this is the Dark Fetus Bead. Lin Fei's expression changed slightly, as though he recalled something. Come down. He grabbed with his 5 fingers, and one of the hundreds of jade scrolls landed in Lin Fei's hand. He looked inside with his consciousness and instantly revealed a smile. I was wondering why it sounded so familiar. Turns out the immortal emperor of many treasures had obtained an ancient mystic art in the secret realm, and the key item was the Dark Fetus Bead. Lin Fei retracted his consciousness. This Dark Fetus 10th level domain is suitable for me to cultivate. The Dark Fetus 10th level domain was an ancient mystic art. Although this mystic art was impressive, no one had managed to cultivate it, apart from the ancient immortals who had created it. There was an important reason for this. To cultivate the Dark Fetus 10th level domain, one needed the Dark Fetus Bead, and the Dark Fetus Bead was priceless and rarely appeared. This mystic art required one to collect 10 Dark Fetus Beads and refine 10 incarnations. When the 10 incarnations activated the mystic art, their combat strength would increase exponentially, and they would be able to display 200 combat strength, which was enough to fight against an immortal emperor powerhouse. 10 Dark Fetus Beads is too difficult. Lin Fei shook his head. However, since the great sun, heavenly demon, could find a Dark Fetus Bead, there might be another Dark Fetus Pillar. Since it is in a dangerous place, I can make a trip there. Thus, Lin Fei listed the location of the great sun, heavenly demon, as his next destination. This ancient mystic art was something that Lin Fei was very interested in. It would be a pity if he didn't go and check it out. Anyway, he had to go later. Following that, Lin Fei stayed in the space for a few more days, mastering his own attack techniques. He especially referenced the fist techniques after the eternal god fist, and derived another fist technique of his own. First stance, body explosion stance. In the space, Lin Fei transformed into a 90 zhang tall god-fiend body and a simple punch. The heavens and earth didn't move. After referencing a large number of body tempering techniques, he felt that this size would allow him to better unleash his combat strength. It would be more dexterous and convenient. Of course, if he met an expert, Lin Fei would return to his original size, which would allow him to unleash his true combat strength. After some research, Lin Fei learned a lot. Using this as a foundation, he created his own attack technique. The first stance was a pure attack technique. When the attack landed on the opponent, divine power would explode, and no one would be able to block it. It was the most straightforward way of fighting. Second stance, Mount Tai suppression. The second stance was also a domineering way of fighting. Lin Fei knew very well that he walked the path of strength, and that he would use the most direct way of fighting. He didn't seek to show off, but rather to use violence. That was why he had created the second stance, Mount Tai Suppression. Mount Tai Suppression. The God-Fiend runes transformed into Mount Tai and combined with the strength of the God-Fiend body. One palm strike would be like the true Mount Tai Suppression. Third stance, God-Fiend 100 Tremors. Lin Fei used all of his divine power to attack with this stance, which was equivalent to the 10 consecutive explosions from before. However, its power was dozens of times greater than before, and it was able to unleash 100 tremors in one breath. It was impossible to defend against, and one would be killed in an instant. Lin Fei was very satisfied with the 3 stances he had created. Lin Fei had spent a lot of time and effort to create these 3 stances. They were the most suitable for fighting. Even though it's only 3 stances, I'll create a 4th and 5th stance in the future. Together with my fist techniques, they will become more and more powerful. I'll call this technique Tyrannical God-Killing Fist. Perhaps one day, I'll be able to slay a god, rumble, the space where Lin Fei was suddenly shook. Chapter 945. P.S. Thank you to Heavenly Snow Doe D and Silly Puppet for their tips, as well as Z Piao 1673 for their monthly votes and evaluation votes. Lin Fei was engrossed in the creation of the tyrannical, God-killing fist and didn't know what Hairball was doing outside. At the beginning, Hairball was just to satisfy her cravings and hunt some beasts. As Lin Fei didn't say anything, Hairball became lawless. Her bloodline was noble, and the beasts were basically immortal beasts. Her bloodline was inferior to Hairball's aura, and the beasts were so scared that they didn't dare to move, waiting to be eaten. Hairball had restrictions at the beginning, but later on her appetite grew, and she almost caught and ate everything. She didn't let go of any beast she saw, and one forbidden land after another was in chaos. Hairball swept through the beasts, leaving behind a mess, and killed her way to the next dangerous place. If Lin Fei had scolded her in time, Hairball wouldn't have dared to be lawless. As a matter of fact, quite a few of the vicious beasts that were eaten were in human form, and they had backers behind them. The people who had come for revenge had chased Furball all the way, but in the end they were all like lambs walking into a tiger's mouth, eaten one by one. Those backers were unwilling and arranged for people to chase after her again, but the result was the same. For some reason, Furball's image was publicized, attracting quite a few people's attention. In particular, there were people who suspected that this was a race that had gone extinct since ancient times. It was unknown who suggested that if they could refine this strange beast, they would be able to improve their bloodline. Thus, the demon race was tempted. Hairball was also lawless. Relying on her ability to travel through the void, she tormented the people chasing after her and escaped from their hands several times. Speaking of which, Hairball's luck was bad. She finally escaped from their pursuit and found a dangerous place. Coincidentally, she was hungry, and when she saw a few Pegasi, she rushed up to have a good meal. She had a good meal, but in the end, she got into trouble and attracted the pursuit of an old man. It turned out that those heaven horses were used by the old man to pull the carriage and were suddenly eaten by someone. Naturally, he was unhappy, and after seeing how extraordinary Hairball was, he wanted to capture Hairball. Hairball was usually invincible when she traveled through the void. Yet, she encountered an old man who knew spatial divine arts, and she couldn't get rid of him. "Damned old man, you dare to attack me? You're dead. My master will definitely beat you until you're looking for your teeth on the ground. I promise." After not seeing each other for a period of time, Hairball had learned to use vulgarities. At this moment, she was transforming into a rainbow light, shuttling through a dangerous area. From time to time, she would encounter spatial collapses. "Little brat, don't run. You won't be able to escape from my palm." Immortal King Windraiser was this old man's name. The heavens are really helping this old man. To be able to encounter a spatial beast in a place like this, and one that has just entered its growth phase, it has a bright future ahead of it. Immortal King Fueling's body was already filled with deathly aura. Clearly, his lifespan was nearing its end, and the Deva's 5 declines were about to appear as well. As long as he could capture this spatial beast, he would be able to possess it. As for the master that the little wimp spoke of, he didn't care at all. Go, heaven and earth net! Immortal Fueling had grasped a portion of the spatial laws. Hence, he was able to catch up to Hairball. Immortal energy erupted forth, closing the distance between them. He took out a saint artifact, causing the sky to darken. Streams of laws rained down like willow branches, sealing off Hairball's path of escape. Bang! Hairball was sent flying back. The void was sealed. This heaven and earth net was unceasingly shrinking, trapping Hairball within. She couldn't struggle free at all. Quickly release this, Daddy. My master is about to appear and kill you until you piss your pants in terror. At that time, you won't even have the time to regret it. Hairball returned to his original form. That saint artifact was unbreakable, firmly suppressing him. He finally felt fear. Immortal King Windrazor's eyes narrowed as he laughed loudly. What an ancient aura! Although this old man doesn't know what you are, this old man knows that your bloodline must be extremely noble. After possessing you, this old man will have the chance to break through to the heaven-ranked Immortal King realm, or even the legendary Immortal Emperor realm. Come here. Immortal King Windrazor's lifespan was nearing its end. His cultivation had stopped at the initial stage of the earth-ranked Immortal King realm. Normally, he would search for all sorts of secret realms, trying to obtain medicinal pills or even sage medicines that could extend his lifespan. When he discovered a spatial beast with a noble bloodline, he finally realized that his life had taken a turn for the better. He knew a possession technique. Once he succeeded, his future accomplishments would be limitless. The heaven and earth net shrank, bringing along the struggling Hairball as it flew towards Immortal King Windrazor. Just when Immortal King Windrazor was feeling complacent, a giant appeared out of thin air and opened up his heaven and earth net. This giant was 600,000 jong tall. With a swoosh, he opened up the heaven and earth net. You dare to snatch my things. The moment Lin Fei appeared, he transformed into a giant fiend god. With the protection of God Force runes, he broke through the heaven and earth net and walked out. Hairball, who was in the form of a wimpy kid, sat on his shoulder. Master beat him to death. This fellow has been chasing after me all this time. Immortal Fufeng was shocked. After seeing clearly that it was a giant, he seemed to have thought of something and laughed loudly. Ha ha ha! Truly wearing out iron shoes in fruitless search, only to find it effortlessly. Lin Fei, so you are here. No wonder everyone couldn't find you. Seems like this old man will be qualified to enter the Eternal Emperor's treasury. Immortal Binding Rope. In the great metropolis world, the matter that caused a commotion recently was none other than the treasures left behind by the Eternal Emperor, as well as Lin Fei of the Holy Heaven Academy, who had the Emperor's key. Immortal King Windrazor didn't think that he was qualified to fight for the treasures of the Eternal Emperor. Who would have thought that the heavens would be so kind to send Lin Fei to his doorstep? You are not qualified to snatch my things. Whoosh! Lin Fei arrived in front of Immortal Fufeng, his lips curling up into a cold smile as he punched out with lightning-fast speed. Body burst stance. This body burst stance was the first stance of the tyrannical, god-killing fist. Ha ha ha! You want to kill this old man with this sort of attack? Immortal King Windrazor laughed loudly. This old man's defense. Bang, 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 bang. Vast amounts of power exploded within Immortal Fufeng's body, and he instantly died. You want to block my punch with your old, decrepit body? Lin Fei shook his head, then collected his opponents into her spatial ring. It wasn't surprising at all that he had destroyed his opponent with a single punch. Immortal King Windrazor's lifespan was nearing its end, and his chi and blood were extremely weak. Even though he was an early-stage, Earth-ranked Immortal King, he was actually only at the peak of the Mortal-ranked. Naturally, he was unable to block Lin Fei's punch. The most important thing was that Lin Fei's body burst stance had been imbued with godly power, allowing him to kill his opponent with a single blow. If it had been an early-stage, Earth-ranked Immortal King, they definitely wouldn't have been able to kill him. Hairball, do you even know what you've done? Lin Fei glared at her. Hairball felt extremely wronged, and her eyes were filled with tears. Lao Dash, however, before she could finish speaking, her head was smacked. How old are you? Why are you calling me Lao Dash? Lin Fei didn't know whether to laugh or to cry. Where had Hairball learned all this from? Hairball's weak voice rang out in his ears. Aren't you just a few dozen years old? What does age have to do with you? He wouldn't lower himself to the level of a child. Remember, next time, you absolutely cannot eat randomly. After learning the reason why Hairball was being hunted down, Lin Fei didn't know what to say. But those Pegasi were eating at that time. Who knew that they had a master? Hairball pouted. Clearly, she wasn't willing to accept this. Lin Fei rolled his eyes. I really don't know what to do with you. After killing the fueling Immortal King, Lin Fei didn't leave immediately. He opened the storage ring, intending to see if there was anything inside, especially those words. So, the moment he opened the storage ring, a black light flew out. Not good. As expected, the black light turned into a human figure. It was the fueling Immortal King. Lin Fei, you dared to destroy my fleshly body. This old man has underestimated your strength. Unfortunately, you don't know that this old man doesn't have much lifespan left. I've been searching for treasures all day long. Afraid of accidents, I purposely left an incarnation in the storage ring. You just wait to be hunted down. You don't know, right? The geniuses from the various worlds are extremely interested in your whereabouts. I wonder what kind of expression you'll have when you meet them. Ha ha ha. By the time Lin Fei caught up, the other party had already disappeared. He seemed to have activated some kind of treasure. What a shrewd fella. Knowing that his lifespan is running out, he left behind such a trick. Lin Fei's expression sank. Geniuses from the various worlds? Could it be that the Eternal Emperor's treasure is so important? Brat Lin, the geniuses from the various worlds have arrived. You must prepare for a fierce battle. Senior Black Demon's voice resounded. The great metropolis world you're from is just one of the many worlds. In terms of strength and influence, it can't be compared to the other great worlds. Hence, the strength of the geniuses from the great worlds can't be measured by ordinary standards. This was the second time Lin Fei heard that the geniuses from the various worlds were incomparably tyrannical. From the eyes of that Immortal King, Lin Fei could see the gloating look in his eyes. Clearly, the strength of these geniuses from the various worlds wasn't simple. To be able to make an early-stage, Earth-ranked Immortal King feel fear, they must have some outstanding aspects. Senior Black Demon, since I've received the grace of the Eternal Emperor, I definitely won't let him lose face. Lin Fei's battle intent blazed. Aren't they just geniuses from the various worlds? I, Lin Fei, have nothing to fear. I'll fight as many as they come. Lin Fei's heart was as clear as snow. If he didn't do anything to them, they wouldn't let him off either. Since this was the case, he might as well have a great battle. Well said. A man must be like this. Senior Black Demon spoke. Back then, Master was just like you. In his dictionary, other than enemies, there's only friends. All right, I can sense several auras. It seems that the inheritors of the Eternal Emperor have appeared. You must be mentally prepared. Many thanks for Senior's reminder. Let me remind you again. There are people coming from the southeast direction. Their target should be you. Senior Black Demon spoke again. They're here so quickly. Lin Fei's gaze shifted, landing on the southeast direction. His battle intent surged. In the depths of the Eternal Emperor's Senfu. Chapter 946. Bang, bang, bang. In the southeast direction, an aura rumbled like a war drum, as if the heavens and earth were on the verge of collapsing. Wherever the aura passed, mountains crumbled, the ground cracked, and birds and beasts were wiped out. The newcomer did not conceal his aura at all. His aura was like a surging river. Before he even arrived, his aura was already displayed, causing the beasts in the danger zone to flee in all directions. What a powerful aura! A true unification. His strength should not be underestimated. I wonder if he's a genius from the all heavens, or a genius from the great metropolis heaven. Lin Fei was unmoving like a mountain, unmoved by the imposing aura. His nine-jong god-fiend body rippled with divine and demonic runes, vast and ancient. His body ignited with a raging battle intent, and the smoke of war was like 10,000 li of rivers and mountains. The great battle was imminent, and his aura rose to the peak. Ha ha ha, Lin Fei kid, I'm back. In the southeast direction, an old man wearing a sinister smile appeared first, Immortal Emperor Fufeng. Old fart, you dare to come back? Before Lin Fei could speak, Hairball let out a roar. Do you believe that I won't eat you in one bite? Little brat, it's still uncertain who will be the one eating who. Immortal Emperor Fufeng said in a sinister tone. Lin Fei crossed his arms and said calmly, Stray dog, I think you're back to die. I wonder if you'll be able to survive after you die. What a sharp-tongued Lin Fei. You still dare to boast shamelessly even when you're about to die. Immortal Emperor Fufeng's eyes were filled with hatred. If it wasn't for Lin Fei, he wouldn't have ended up like a stray dog. 3 geniuses from the all heavens, his holy heaven institutes Lin Fei, with 3 martial monarch keys. I dare to guarantee it with my head. Whoosh, 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 3 piercing sounds could be heard. Dong, 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 3 figures descended from the sky, unleashing their auras. The rift behind them was unable to endure the aura and exploded, raising everything within the vicinity to the ground. You are Lin Fei, the Divine Heaven Academy's King Invincible? I don't think you're worthy of your reputation. You can't even withstand a single blow. Any expert of our Heaven Wasteland domain can crush you with a single punch. The desolate Emperor shook his head in disappointment, his black and white eyes filled with disdain. The 3 of you must be the geniuses of the all heavens world. Lin Fei licked the corner of his mouth. You guys are stronger than I imagined. It makes my blood boil. Lin Fei, stop pretending. The 3 of them are geniuses from all the worlds. They are Heaven Wasteland World's desolate son of heaven, Buddhist World's formless immortal king, and Dark World's immortal king Hishan. The fueling immortal king said proudly, They can kill you with a single finger. Hurry up and hand over the martial monarch key. The fueling immortal king was unlucky to stumble into the maniac Lin Fei, who easily destroyed his flesh in a few moves. He managed to survive and swore to get his revenge on Lin Fei. Along the way, he stumbled into the geniuses of the all heavens world and was captured by them. He then revealed Lin Fei's whereabouts and assumed that he could easily defeat Lin Fei now that he had a backer. Lin Fei said smilingly, A mere dog dares to act so arrogantly. You're overestimating yourself. The celestial demonic hand burst forward like a mountain. It was the second form of the tyrannical, god-killing fist, Mount Tai suppression. Bang! Lin Fei's speed was too fast. With Mount Tai suppression, his entire body was covered in cuts and bruises. It was not an ordinary violent attack. The fueling immortal king screamed. He never expected that Lin Fei would really dare to kill him. He was destroyed by Lin Fei's Mount Tai suppression with a single palm strike. He had truly gone to hell. It's finally quiet. It's indeed quiet, desolate heaven's son said indifferently. If I didn't need to lead the way, I would have slapped this trash to death. I still have to thank you for your help. Actually, I'm also unhappy with this guy. He's about to die of old age, yet he still keeps on causing trouble. Lin Fei smiled and said, Now that he's finally dead, it can be considered quiet. Lin Fei, hand over the martial monarch key. The faceless immortal king was a bald monk. Lotus flowers bloomed under his feet as he walked towards Lin Fei step by step. He was expressionless and looked sacred. Behind him, there was a Buddhist kingdom that shone resplendently. Buddhas were sitting cross-legged and chanting scriptures. Hand over the martial monarch key, hand over the martial monarch key, hand over the martial monarch key. Buddhas and bodhisattvas were sitting on the lotus platforms. Buddhist chants filled the sky and reverberated endlessly. At this moment, the world seemed to have quietened down. Bang, bang, bang. Buddhist light shone. The celestial demonic runes around Lin Fei exploded one by one. The illusory Buddhas and bodhisattvas were turned into fragments under the impact of the godly energy. What terrifying Buddhist chants! This guy cultivates a Buddhist technique. If it wasn't for the celestial demonic runes exploding and cutting off the influence, I might have fallen for it. The faceless, immortal king's expression didn't change. He strode forward again. The Buddhist light became even more resplendent, and a Vairocana appeared behind him. The Jingguang shone resplendently. He had 3 heads and 6 arms, and the 12th grade lotus platform beneath him floated up. Lin Fei, someone from a low-level world, like you'll never understand the power of a true genius from a higher world. I, the faceless immortal king, cultivate the Vairocana Heart Sutra. Under the heavens, every grain of sand is a world. You are a grain of sand in my Buddha world. He's accumulating his aura. When his aura reaches its peak, it will definitely be terrifying. He's definitely a tough opponent. I'm going to strike first. What Vairocana? I'll crush them all. A cold light flashed in Lin Fei's eyes. The runes around him exploded again, forming an absolute space that blocked the Buddhist chants. With the support of the sacred dragon step, he broke through the boundless Buddhist light and arrived before the faceless immortal king. Mount Tai suppression. 2 million dragons God Force immediately erupted, turning into 20 million dragons God Force. The God Force turned into a towering mountain, and the God and demon runes shone resplendently. The power of the God and demon runes increased tenfold, increasing the power of the God and demon runes. Brute! The faceless immortal king's body dissipated, dissipating Lin Fei's domineering attack. The domineering God power landed below, causing a mountain to explode. The Buddhists say that a grain of sand is a world. You are just a grain of sand, yet you dare to attack the world. The faceless immortal king's body appeared from another place, looking solemn and holy. Vairocana Flower Finger. Brother Faceless Vairocana Heart Sutra has improved greatly, reaching the point of perfection. Lin Fei has already lost. Desolate Heaven's Son said calmly, "This Lin Fei's Vairocana Heart Sutra is extraordinary. He does have some ability, but facing Brother Faceless, the gap is like heaven and earth. They aren't on the same level at all." Immortal King, Hishan said, "Hypocrite, you've been tricked." Suddenly, a mocking voice sounded from behind the faceless immortal king. Mount Tai suppression. God's strength 100 tremors. Lin Fei attacked from behind, using Mount Tai suppression to send the faceless immortal king flying. He followed up with God's strength 100 tremors, using 2 moves in a row. The Vairocana Buddha statue suddenly exploded. Pieces flew everywhere. The Buddhas in the sky also disappeared. Pung, 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 another terrifying power exploded from the faceless immortal king's body. His eyes, nose, ears all bled, red and white, turning into a ball. Every inch of his flesh and blood surged with God power, unable to escape misfortune. Every time the God power shook, his flesh and blood turned into powder. After a total of 53 times, the faceless immortal king exploded into the nothingness. Even if an immortal emperor acted, he wouldn't be able to save him. You actually killed formless immortal king. How is this possible? He cultivates the Vairocana Heart Sutra, desolate son of heaven, felt as if someone had grabbed his throat and spat out these words with great difficulty. Chapter 947. Lin Fei had killed the formless immortal king in one move. Huang Zi from the heaven wasteland world and He Shan from the dark world were dumbfounded. Unbeknownst to them, Lin Fei was also extremely shocked in his heart. The geniuses of the all heavens world are indeed powerful. Fortunately, I had planned ahead. Otherwise it would not have been so easy to kill the formless immortal king. The Buddhist divine powers are not to be underestimated. I almost fell for it. A genius of the Buddhist world could predict this with his divine powers. The other two should not be simple either. From the beginning, Lin Fei had schemed against the other party. Back then, Lin Fei had fought with the disciples of the Buddhist world. They were proficient in Buddhist divine powers. When they saw Lin Fei using Buddhist cultivation techniques, they listed him as the first target to be killed. If I don't kill him, it will affect my own battle and divert my attention. Everything was as he had imagined. The incarnation came in handy. After deceiving the other party, Lin Fei easily killed the other party. Hairball, go deal with He Shan. Hua. Lin Fei commanded Furball, and together with his clone, they charged toward He Shan. Even if they could not kill him, they had to stall him first. They could not allow him a chance to attack Lin Fei. He was confident that he could deal with Desolate Son of Heaven. One of the three geniuses from the all heavens world was taken care of. Among the remaining geniuses, Lin Fei felt that Huang Zi was the most dangerous. Be good and stand still. Let me eat you. Hairball returned to her original form. Her huge body covered the sky and the sun. Wind blades rotated around her like a bandit, wanting to swallow the other party in one bite. Huang Zi, the people of the heaven wasteland world, mainly cultivate strength and strong physical defense. This Lin Fei is a bit strange, but he deserves it for encountering you. Who doesn't know that the people of the heaven wasteland world have the strength to tear immortal Lord level beasts apart? I'll leave Lin Fei to you. He Shan transmitted his divine sense. Without another word, he faced Hairball. He Shan, that bastard. How dare he scheme against me? Desolate Son of Heaven cursed in his heart. After Lin Fei killed the formless immortal king with 2 attacks, he realized that he had met a troublesome opponent. He Shan is an expert in scheming. He wants me to fight against Lin Fei so that he can reap the benefits. Humph, don't even think about it. Once he gets the monarch key, he can only watch helplessly. Rumble. Hairball and the incarnation fought He Shan together, and they were evenly matched. One used divine power attacks, and the other used close-range attacks. He Shan had no choice but to distance himself, and he had no time to deal with Lin Fei. Lin Fei is not simple. Formless immortal king cultivated the Vairocana Heart Sutra, but he was killed in the blink of an eye. My physical body is almost the same as his. If I were to go up, I might not be able to handle it. I might as well let Desolate Son of Heaven do it. It would be best if the 2 of them fight and both of them get injured. He Shan rolled his eyes. At that time, the monarch key would be mine. Boom! Boom! Desolate Son of Heaven's body grew taller, and his veins popped out. He turned into a horned dragon, reaching a length of 10 zhong. His aura continued to rise, and finally stopped at the early stage of Earth class. Bang, 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 a flood of dazzling light flew out from Huang Tianzi's body. His entire body instantly sparkled like a perfect work of art, making one unable to let go of it. Lin Fei, you killed formless immortal king. Very impressive. Desolate Son of Heaven's battle intent burned. However, you won in a sneak attack. Buddhist disciples never cultivate their physical bodies, which gave you an advantage. But I, Desolate Son of Heaven, am different. I cultivate the indestructible true body, and I walk the path of power. Now, I will let you see what true power is. You are the first opponent who made me use the indestructible true body, indestructible heaven covering hand. Light shot up into the sky, and a dense amount of immortal force runes appeared. A giant hand that covered the sky was imbued with light runes, and it contained an incomparably terrifying aura. It slammed down towards Lin Fei, and before the indestructible heaven covering hand arrived, the ground had already collapsed. Power flow, indestructible true body, good, good, good. Lin Fei cheered. If it was anything else, it would be troublesome. But to compete with this daddy in terms of power, who was afraid of who? Was the god-demon body strong? Or was it the body refinement of the world strong? Go. Similarly, the sky was filled with god-demon runes, and a giant hand appeared. Lin Fei's pure 2 million dragon god power met a head-on, and they collided fiercely. Boom! Both of them were imbued with divine power, and the giant hands collided with each other. The runes exploded one after another, and both of them were sent flying, crashing into the mountains behind them. This time, they were actually evenly matched. Again, Lin Fei bellowed and charged forward again. After that head-on clash just now, he did not see how terrifying the other party was. In terms of divine power, it was at most 1,500,000 dragon god power, which was far inferior to his own divine power. Since his divine power was inferior, he would beat the other party until his teeth fell all over the ground. The god-demon body and god-demon talisman offset the divine power attack, which filled Lin Fei with even more confidence. What's going on? How can a guy from a small world have more divine power than me? There's no justice in this world. Huang Tianzi's indestructible true body runes kept exploding, and he could not suppress the invasion of divine power. The blood in his body churned, and he felt a lingering fear. In the heaven wasteland world, his divine power was not considered strong, but he had a bit of a reputation. It was the first time he had encountered Lin Fei, and he had fought to a draw. In fact, he had lost by a bit. While he was thinking, Lin Fei charged forward and his fist smashed down. Like a storm, the sky full of runes exploded again. This time he used all his strength and banged on Huang Tianzi's body. The runes made of light kept exploding. I thought that the geniuses of your worlds were amazing, but it seems that they are only SOSO. No one had been able to withstand an attack of 2 million dragon god power, especially with their physical bodies. Lin Fei found a sandbag. Indestructible true body, 20x burst. After more than 100 punches, Huang Tianzi felt even more pressure, and his indestructible true body could not withstand it. This had never happened before. Divine power against divine power, and it was not easy for him to withstand it. However, he was depressed. Why did he meet such a freak? If this continued, it was hard to guarantee that his indestructible true body would collapse. I admit that you are a genius, but you might not be able to defeat me. Let's see how you fight me now. Huang Tianzi supported his attack, and surging immortal power burned, instantly raising his divine power to 30 million dragon god power. The void shook and mountains collapsed. Facing 30 million dragon god power, Lin Fei laughed loudly. Just this bit of divine power, and you dare to say it? I feel embarrassed for you. Let me show you what true divine power is. Explode. Lin Fei went up, and with a wave of his hand, resplendent god and demon runes appeared. Violent divine power surged out like a flood, and in an instant, the 30 million dragon god power was like a river meeting an endless ocean. Drowning in it, 100x burst, 200 million dragon god power, explode them all. Time seemed to stop at this moment. 200 million dragon god power surged like a flood, and it was undefeatable. Huang Tianzi's 30 million dragon god power was like a cup of water on a burning cart of firewood. In an instant, it disappeared, and the sky-covering hands exploded one after another. After testing it out, Lin Fei's palm exploded with 100x burst of divine power. immortal power burned, and with a slap, the earth shook. Impossible! How can you explode with this level of divine power? Huang Tianzi desperately used his undying true body, and light flashed. You aren't human. Walala walala. 200,000,000 dragon god power was too domineering. With one palm, it broke through Huang Tianzi's attack, completely crushing the 30 million dragon god power. The light on Huang Tianzi's body shattered, and the crystalline, undying true body cracked inch by inch. No matter how he used it, the cracking couldn't be stopped. Lin Fei, don't kill me. I don't want the great Emperor Qi anymore. Huang Tianzi let out a cry of despair. Lin Fei wouldn't let go at all. With a slap, Huang Tianzi's undying true body was smashed into pieces, and the pieces exploded into dust. From then on, this person couldn't be found. Cough, cough, cough. Under the god and demon body, he was more or less injured, but not too seriously. Huang Tianzi is dead. He Shan, who was planning to plot, felt his scalp go numb. He saw Huang Tianzi's undying true body being smashed into pieces, and Lin Fei only suffered a small injury. Go! He Shan didn't have time to think about how Huang Tianzi died. He knew that if he didn't leave now, he would die in Lin Fei's hands. There's no need to leave. Let's go down and accompany them. Lin Fei took a deep breath and burned his immortal power. Once again, he exploded with a 100x attack. A 10,000-foot god and demon hand shot out from the void and grabbed Tishan. 200 million dragon god power exploded from his hand. He didn't die, and it's the sacred armor on him again. Under the violent squeeze, Hishan was on the verge of death. Hishan was on the verge of death. It turned out that he had an extra set of divine armor on his body that could block his strongest attack. Explode! Rumble! Several explosions sounded from the man's body. I'm wearing the sacred armor. No, indestructible. Hishan, who was wearing the sacred armor, exploded into dust, leaving behind a dark red sacred armor that shone brightly. It was of a higher grade than the Zilong sacred armor and the Black Cloud sacred armor. With one look, one could tell that it was of a higher grade. Whoosh! I've finally finished them off. The battle didn't last long, but the pressure on Lin Fei multiplied. The three geniuses from different worlds underestimated him, which was why he could kill them one by one. If the three of them attacked together at the beginning, it would be very difficult for Lin Fei to kill them, and he would also be heavily injured. Collect! Lin Fei kept all three storage rings. The geniuses of the All Heavens realms would definitely have a lot of treasures on them. Master! Hairball flew back, her eyes wide. I'm still too weak. I want to eat, eat, eat. When my second offensive talent awakens, I'll definitely teach them a lesson. In the previous battle, Hairball's defense was great, but her offensive power was too weak. Okay, I'll let you eat them all next time. Although Lin Fei didn't know what the second talent was, hearing Hairball's words, it must be very domineering. Chapter 948. After killing the three geniuses, Lin Fei knew that his position had been exposed. Someone would definitely come soon, so he brought Hairball to a dangerous place. After reaching the fifth refinement of the God-fiend body, his defensive power was astonishing. Dangerous places could hardly stop him. Little did he know that after immortal King Fufeng spread the news, coupled with his understanding of Lin Fei, everyone seemed to have guessed his whereabouts and chased after him. Boom! Lin Fei killed a 100-meter-long purple centipede with a palm strike. Then he occupied the centipede's nest and burned everything inside with a divine flame. Let me see what treasures these three geniuses have on them. It wasn't easy to kill three geniuses, and most importantly, they were from the heavenly worlds. After killing the three geniuses, Lin Fei controlled his strength and didn't let the storage ring explode. Vairocana Heart Sutra. He opened the formless Immortal King's storage ring. It was of a very high grade. The space inside was very large, and there were many things inside. He scanned it with his divine sense and found the cultivation technique of the formless immortal king. Lin Fei wasn't very interested in Buddhist cultivation techniques. He subconsciously felt disgusted, so he used his divine sense to study it. He would definitely encounter Buddhist disciples in the future. The cultivation techniques of the Buddhist world are indeed powerful. They can affect the essence soul. No wonder I almost fell for it. Lin Fei stroked his chin. I can leave this high-level cultivation technique for my subordinates in the future. I can't waste it. Unfortunately, it's not the complete copy. Sacred armor. He searched again with his divine sense and found a few sets of black battle armor. This is the Black Cloud Saint armor, the lowest grade of the saint armors. With the addition of the Buddhist holy light, its defensive power has increased by a lot. This is a good item. The monks of the Buddhist sect are really rich. This is a bargain for me. If I sell it, it will definitely be very popular. Lin Fei didn't have much use for sacred armor. With the God-fiend body, he didn't need sacred armor, unless it was a top-grade sacred armor. Other than these, the formless immortal king also had a large number of great firmament immortal stones. There were millions of great firmament immortal stones of excellent quality. Lin Fei refined them in one go. This is... Soon, Lin Fei found something good. True spirit. Lin Fei had an impression of this. Back then, he had heard that after reaching the Celestial King stage, the Origin Immortal Stone could no longer satisfy the needs of the Celestial King stage, and the Celestial Spirit appeared, a higher quality cultivation resource. 100,000 true spirits! After counting, he discovered that this faceless immortal king was very rich. He even had a good thing like a true spirit. Lin Fei attempted to refine one. The rich immortal aura exceeded that of a zenith heaven immortal stone. It also had an effect on his god-fiend body, improving it slightly. Although it was slight, he could still feel it. Finally, there's something I'm satisfied with. Lin Fei accepted it without hesitation. With the replenishment of the true spirit, I don't need to worry about consumption when I use 100-fold divine power to attack. 100-fold increase in divine power consumed a great deal of immortal energy, but with a large number of origin immortal stones and true spirits to replenish it, there was no need to worry about running out. If Lin Fei's divine energy had reached 10 million dragons' divine energy that day, he wouldn't have to consume so much. Undying true body. The storage ring of Desolate Son of Heaven was almost on par with that of Faceless Immortal King. My God-fiend body has reached the 5th refinement revolution. If I didn't have the advantage of divine power, it wouldn't have been easy for me to break through Desolate Son of Heaven's undying true body. Lin Fei looked at the undying true body. He was very interested in the body tempering technique. This undying true body does have a unique cultivation method. I wonder if my God-fiend body can be modified appropriately? After looking through it, Lin Fei realized that the undying true body was extraordinary. Its defensive power was not inferior to the God-fiend body. He had an idea. The undying true body refines all the bones in the body according to a special technique. After reaching the greater success stage, the bones in the body will be as heavy as Mount Tai and indestructible. The blood in the body will also be extremely heavy. Lin Fei immediately made a decision. He would use the undying true body to modify the God-fiend body and form an even stronger divine body. This was the first time he fought with the geniuses of the myriad worlds. Although they weren't the most famous, every one of them was much stronger than the geniuses of the great metropolis world. Lin Fei couldn't help but pay attention to them, leaving Hairball and his incarnation outside to protect him. Lin Fei focused on cultivating the undying true body. Let's start from the bones. Lin Fei's God-fiend body was incomparably strong. Cultivating the undying true body was a piece of cake. First, the bones in his limbs began to transform. Then the bones in his entire body began to transform. At first, They were white, then they turned dark gold. Every bone in his body changed according to the cultivation technique. Dark gold body. After checking his body with his divine sense, his entire body turned dark gold, unlike desolate son of heavens. With a thought from Lin Fei, his dark golden body disappeared and turned into the god-demon body. With another thought, he turned into the divine body. He now had 3 divine bodies in one body. If word of this spread, it would be shocking. There's still one last step left. With 3 divine bodies in one body, although he could transform them at will with a thought, Lin Fei still wasn't satisfied. If he encountered a powerful opponent, this instant was enough to suppress the transformation of the divine body. It's best if I fuse the 3 divine bodies together and form a new divine body. Lin Fei's gaze was resolute. I have the God-fiend body as a foundation. It's easy for me to cultivate all sorts of divine bodies. In that case, why don't I cultivate a divine body that belongs to me and walk a different path? 3 divine bodies fuse for me. At this moment, Lin Fei took a step that belonged to him. In the great emperor's senfu, Black Fei blinked, revealing a look of pleasant surprise. Impressive. I'm going to create a unique divine body. In the future, as long as I keep fusing various divine bodies, the divine body I create will be the strongest divine body in the world. Even if my strength is inferior, outsiders will be helpless. Unless I suppress it, the 3 divine bodies coexisted in one body. Now that they were about to fuse together, a huge battle erupted. Hua! 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 Lin Fei's flesh and blood were lacerated, constantly exploding and collapsing before recovering. Sometimes it was the God-fiend body, sometimes it was the undying true body, and sometimes it was the saint body. The battle didn't stop. The current Lin Fei was resolute. He gritted his teeth and allowed the 3 divine bodies to fight. 1 hour. 2 hours. Lin Fei was covered in blood. There wasn't a single part of his body that was unharmed. Fuse. After the 3 divine bodies clashed, the impact began to weaken. A smile finally appeared on Lin Fei's determined face. At this moment in Lin Fei's dantian, there was a boundless immortal sea. Surging immortal power slapped the shore loudly. In the sky above the immortal sea, there was a huge black bell. The surface of the bell was inlaid with runes. One was the God-fiend body, one was the undying true body, and one was the saint body. At this moment, they became a part of the surface of the bell. The more divine bodies fused, the stronger this divine body would be. Lin Fei stood up and let out a long breath. With a thought, the injuries on his body instantly healed. I really didn't expect that, because of the undying true body, I would have the chance to create a divine body that belongs to me. Lin Fei was filled with emotion. Although this divine body is just in its infancy, I feel that it is even stronger than the previous God-fiend body. As long as I continue to fuse various divine bodies into it, my divine body will definitely reach an unimaginable height. In the future, it won't be impossible for it to be unprecedented. Chapter 949. P.S. Thanks to Sky Snow Doe Emperor for the tip. Invincible Golden Body, a good name. Kid Lin, you have taken a big step forward. Hearing Senior Black Demon's voice, Lin Fei was stunned for a moment, then returned to normal. Senior Black Demon. Don't call me Senior, it sounds bad. Call me Big Brother Black. Lin Fei was not a pretentious person. Big Brother Black. What do you think of my divine body? After creating this divine body, Lin Fei was still in a daze. He had to rely on his feelings, whether it was good or bad. He was not confident. You have done very well, Black Demon said with a smile. Black Demon smiled. Walking the path of the predecessors can save you a lot of time. However, it's not your own. Only the things you create belong to you and are suitable for you. Your invincible golden body, God body, lacks nothing more than the body refining technique. You have to constantly supplement it to reach the grand completion stage. I will walk my own path. I will persevere. After the three divine bodies merged into one, there was no more stagnation between them. They had completely become one. Master's treasure is about to be opened, and all the geniuses will come out. Your chance to perfect your technique is here. If you miss this chance, you will not have another chance like this. Lin Fei's eyes lit up. Yes, a genius from Heaven Wasteland World has the invincible true body. What about the other geniuses? The invincible true body is nothing. In the hands of the other geniuses, even the local geniuses, there will be many body refinement techniques. Isn't my chance here? The invincible golden body had just been created, so Lin Fei needed time to perfect it. The various body refinement techniques were the key. Apart from their divine bodies, the various bloodlines and physiques are also one of the ways to perfect your technique. Since Black Demon had taken the initiative to show his goodwill, he did not mind giving Lin Fei some pointers as a favor. Bloodline divine body? It was not the first time he had heard of it. The Purgatory Patriarch seemed to have thought that he had a special bloodline. Seems like you know about the bloodline divine body. Black Demon smiled and explained, there are all kinds of bloodlines in the boundless thousand world. The children of high-grade bloodlines will have cultivation talents that far surpass their parents. Some of the special bloodlines will give birth to powerful and indestructible bodies. They are very terrifying. Back then, I followed my master to battle and saw many terrifying divine bodies. They are 100 times more powerful than your invincible, golden, godly body. If you can study their bloodlines, you understand what I'm saying, right? Lin Fei was enlightened. So that was how it was. Thank you for your reminder, Brother He. I know what to do now. Lin Fei licked his lips. I have another target to fight against. A bloodline that is 100 times stronger than mine. It seems that I have to work harder. After spending a few days, Lin Fei consolidated his invincible, golden, godly body. Only then did he finish his cultivation and set his goal for the future. Congratulations to Master for making great progress. The moment Lin Fei came out, Hairball immediately flattered him. With a wave of his hand, Lin Fei put away his avatar and said with a smile, "Oh, you! When I was cultivating, was there any commotion outside?" "Master, after you started cultivating, many people came outside. Every one of them was very powerful. They were shouting to capture Master," Hairball said. "At that time, I really wanted to eat them. They seemed to have guessed something." Lin Fei rubbed his chin. "This place isn't dangerous enough. If I go to a more dangerous place, I'll make sure to make you suffer." Lin Fei took out the map he obtained from killing people and quickly found his location. He was already at the periphery. This is the ruins of the heavenly courts, the central heavenly courts of the past. Seeing the name marked on the map, Lin Fei recalled something. The central heavenly courts was recorded in history books. Back then, the great celestial world was a world with a centralized authority. The heavenly courts, Lord presided over it and controlled the entire great celestial world. The central heavenly courts was the Holy Land at that time. Later on, for some reason, the central heavenly courts lost its lord. The vassals rebelled against the heavenly courts. After 1,000 years of war, they overthrew the heavenly courts, and from then on, there were the 4 regions today. The central sacred region became a ruin. That place had experienced 1,000 years of war, and all kinds of big shots had fallen. Thus, it became the largest training ground in the great celestial world. I unknowingly approached the central sacred region. The ruins of the heavenly courts are said to be more dangerous than the northern underworld chaos sky region. The will of the strong turned into demons and energy left behind from the battle. There's no better place to kill people there. Hairball looked at the side. She rolled her eyes. "Master, what bad ideas are you thinking of now? I wonder who is going to suffer. Let's go." Lin Fei put away the array, left his nest, and headed straight for the central sacred region. After a few million miles, Hairball on his shoulder called out, "Master, there are people looking for you in front. Why don't we eat them?" Looking for him? It was better to say that they were looking for the great emperor's key. All right, on a mountain in front of him. That bastard said that Lin Fei would appear in this area. I've been looking for him for 3 days, but I haven't seen a single shadow. I was almost robbed. A burly man carrying a Xianhua axe scolded a few of his subordinates with a straight face. "Big brother," that's what everyone said. "It shouldn't be wrong." One of the subordinates said carefully, "To hell with it. Lin Fei would appear in a place like this? I don't believe that not only did we not find him, but we also troubled a few of our brothers." The burly man had a bad temper. He sent a slap flying over and slapped that person into the rock. Boom! A giant hand slapped down from the sky. The 5 fingers were as heavy as Mount Tai. The entire mountain was slapped down. With a loud rumble, rocks flew everywhere. The mountain was crushed into flat ground. The immortal on the mountain exploded on the spot. Cough, cough, cough. That bastard, the tall and sturdy man, cried out loudly. Seeing that all of his subordinates had died, he pulled himself away and left. Another hand appeared from the void, crushing down and grabbing his neck, making it hard for him to breathe. Soon after, a young man walked out, carrying a little brat on his shoulder. "You are Lin Fei." The burly man was scared out of his wits. "Soul search." Lin Fei reached out and pointed. Jin Guang entered the burly man's mind. After a moment of struggle, he was dumbfounded. Hairball rushed up, opened its mouth, and ate him. The person who came out was Lin Fei. After digesting the news, he couldn't help but frown. The treasure of the Eternal Emperor. I didn't expect so many people to covet it. It's a mess outside. Lin Fei used an evil method to check the memories of the burly man. Luckily, I didn't return to the Sacred Heavens Academy. Otherwise, those immortal kings might have threatened to hand me over. So it turned out that after his identity was exposed, the Sacred Heavens Academy was surrounded by people. There was a restriction laid down by the Eternal Emperor. No one dared to force their way in, forcing them to hand him over. 10 Emperor keys appeared one after another. All the geniuses of the various worlds came. Agutai, the Yin-Yang Immortal King. All of them are extremely powerful. When they arrived at the great celestial realm, they defeated many local geniuses and shook the entire heaven realm. The inheritors of the Eternal Emperor also appeared. Among them, there are 3 strong ones. They are Hai Budong from the Sea God realm, who is at the mid-phase of the Earth realm, Lon Xan from the Ice Snow realm, who is at the early phase of the Earth realm, and the last one, Zhantian. His origin is unknown, his strength is unknown, but he killed 10 human stage immortal kings in a single move. After checking the memories, Lin Fei was secretly shocked. The strength of the geniuses from the various worlds was extraordinary. The moment they appeared, they turned the great celestial realm upside down. Even the inheritors of the Eternal Emperor had appeared. This Zhan Tian, his origin is unknown, his strength is unknown. Maybe he will be a powerful opponent. Lin Fei drew in a deep breath. Other than them, many other major powers have arranged for experts to come here. Once I encounter those powerful existences, I'm sure I won't be able to stand up to them. I have to increase my strength and perfect my divine body before I have the qualifications to contend against them. The strength of an Earth Stage Immortal King was already terrifying enough. If a Heaven Stage Immortal King acted, Lin Fei knew that he wouldn't be a match for them for the time being. After all, Heaven Stage Immortal Kings controlled a trace of the power of the Great Tao. After digesting this information, Lin Fei felt an immense pressure. The true danger had arrived. At the same time, if he could grow stronger in this era, he would definitely have a place for himself in the great celestial realm in the future. Lin Fei flashed like the wind, using the sacred dragon steps to the limit as he headed towards the central Saint region. After the news of the Fufeng immortal king spread out, the various powers in this area arranged for scouts to search for Lin Fei's whereabouts. However, they still couldn't find him. Today, a few scouts from one of the major powers were searching for danger zones when they saw a figure flying over. With a single glance, they were filled with joy. "Quickly look, that's Lin Fei, the fellow who obtained the key to the immortal emperor. Stop him." Lin Fei was no longer sneaking around. Instead, he was charging straight at them in broad daylight. Die! Without waiting for them to act, Lin Fei flicked his finger. A gust of wind gusted and blasted the scouts into pieces. "Quickly send out the news." That scout, who was slower to react, stared at Lin Fei leaving. His face was filled with excitement. He finally discovered Lin Fei's whereabouts. "Quickly inform the people in front to stop Lin Fei. Don't let others beat us to it." This news was sent out by the scouts, causing a huge commotion. More than 20 million miles ahead, a sect called the Mountains and Rivers sect gathered a group of subordinates and was searching. Suddenly, one of the middle-aged men was stunned. Then his face lit up with joy. "Great Elder, there's news. The scouts have sent news that Lin Fei is heading in our direction." The Great Elder of the Mountains and Rivers sect, Qin Yuan, was an immortal at the peak of the early stage of the Earth stage. He belonged to a major power. When he heard the news, he was overjoyed. "Set up the formation immediately and seal off this area. Our chance to make a contribution has come." Chen Yuan stroked his white beard. "As long as our Mountains and Rivers sect catches Lin Fei, it will definitely be a great contribution. The reward will be ours." Chapter 950. He's here. Lin Fei is here. A beam of light flew over at high speed, causing the air to tremble as if it was about to be flipped over. The members of the Mountain River sect were very excited to see it. Array open. Boom! Boom! As Lin Fei charged into the area, a formation flag flew out from all directions and locked the space in place. It was a formation used to trap people. "Lin Fei, there's nowhere for you to run. You'd better surrender." The Mountain River sect's Grand Elder, Qin Yuan, took out an ancient bronze mirror. It was a divine artifact, and green light shone on Lin Fei's body. The light corroded his divine body. It was extremely vicious. "Hairball, eat it." Lin Fei's body shook, and the divine power runes exploded. The light that corroded his divine body was shattered into pieces when it met the divine power. It could not harm his divine body. The three divine bodies had fused to create the golden, indestructible divine body. The divine light attack was like a tickle to him. Clang, clang, clang. Lin Fei took out the heaven-shaking bell and activated it with his immortal power. Clang, clang, clang. Bang, bang, banged, bang, bang, bang. The sound of the bell became a sound wave attack, catching them off guard. The disciples of the Mountain River sect bled from their 7 orifices. They hugged each other's heads and struggled, but their bodies exploded. Grand Elder Chen Yuan gritted his teeth and watched as his disciples died. These were the elite disciples of the Mountain River sect. "Elders, let's attack together and suppress him." The remaining elders were all furious. Lin Fei was so arrogant even at death's door. He should be killed. Suppress me? You don't have the ability. Lin Fei's eyes were cold. He dashed to the nearest elder and raised his head. Sword Qi filled the sky. He held the judgment staff in his hand and smashed the elder into pieces. Lin Fei, how can he be so powerful? All the elders were shocked. The information recorded did not match. Lin Fei rushed towards another elder, punching out with his fist. The first stance was the body eruption stance. That elder was merely a human-ranked immortal king. His back instantly bulged out like a rubber ball as a violent surge of energy erupted forth from his body. With his divine power reaching 2 million dragons, Lin Fei could kill people at will, and no one could block a single strike from him. In the blink of an eye, his fists landed on flesh, killing 6 elders. "Old thing, it's your turn." Lin Fei punched out more than 100 times, the wind from his punches turning into tornadoes of divine power. The bronze mirror that Qin Yuan took out exploded with a crash, turning into scrap. Bang! A killing fist blasted out from the tornado, blasting apart the saint armor. The saint armor he was wearing was only an ordinary low-grade saint armor. With a single punch, it was blasted apart, instantly killing his opponent. After keeping the interspatial ring, Lin Fei brought Hairball and flew forward once more. The people from the Mountain River sect couldn't even withstand a single strike from Lin Fei. Lin Fei's divine power had increased, and he was on par with Earth-ranked immortal kings. Hairball was a descendant of the primordial evil dragon. Her fleshly body defense was also monstrous. After Lin Fei left, the people chasing after Lin Fei arrived. When they saw the traces of battle, they couldn't help but be dumbfounded. 7 to 8 human-ranked immortal kings and an Earth-ranked immortal king couldn't hold back Lin Fei? Lin Fei was simply too powerful. Wasn't it rumored that Lin Fei was only at the Golden Immortal Realm? This combat prowess? Chase! Lin Fei has appeared. This time he won't be able to escape. There's already an inescapable net in front of him. I don't believe he can break out. The moment Lin Fei appeared, it was unknown how many people's hearts were stirred. Wave after wave of people chased after Lin Fei. What? Lin Fei broke through another blockade? The disciples of the Blazing Flame sect were all wiped out. Even the Grand Elder was slapped into a meat patty. The news that came back one after another caused them to be dumbfounded. They almost suspected that they had heard wrongly. Was Lin Fei really that powerful? Mount Tai suppression. With a loud rumble, a mountain range below them collapsed. Lin Fei and Furball swept through everything in their path. Very few people could stop them, and almost no one was a match for them. For the Emperor key in my hand, you guys really think highly of me. Immortal kings that I usually don't see have appeared one after another. Lin Fei looked at the mountain range below and spat out a mouthful of turbid air. Earth-class peak early-stage immortal kings are indeed not easy to deal with. They can withstand a blow for 10 breaths of time. Lin Fei's body was covered with wounds. Just now he had encountered an Earth-class peak early-stage immortal king. It took a head-on clash to kill him. He could be considered a difficult opponent. "Master, there's a lot of people coming." Hairball turned into human form and licked her lips. She had eaten quite a few people along the way. Since they were all here to kill him, Lin Fei told Hairball to eat as much as she wanted. The Central Saint region is not easy. Lin Fei's eyes were resolute. Even if it's not easy, I have to get through it. Only when I get there will I be like a fish in the water, a tiger in the forest. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Suddenly, Lin Fei felt a chill in his heart. Subconsciously, he dodged and a ray of light flew past his cheek. A 10,000 feet tall mountain in front of him exploded. Rocks flew everywhere. It was flattened in front of him. Pum! After dodging the first arrow, the dangerous aura didn't diminish. It continued to envelop Lin Fei. Each arrow was stronger than the one before. A soft cry came from afar. Invincible golden body. Lin Fei used the saintly dragon step, and his divine body shone brightly. He dodged one after another. The last arrow hit Lin Fei's arm, and the vicious energy exploded. One of his arms exploded into powder, along with half of his body. The remaining vicious energy attacked his internal organs instead. He had met a master. What domineering archery! It can even injure my invincible golden body. Lin Fei didn't want to fight. It was rare to see someone who could use archery to this level. Apart from Tai of the monster race, no one else had such a dangerous aura. He stopped Hairball and dashed into the depths of the void. Whoosh! In the clouds in the sky, an enormous violet bird could be seen. It was at least 3,000 meters long, and it blotted out the sun. Lightning crackled around it, and arcs of electricity covered its body. As the violet bird moved, arcs of light flashed, exploding through space. This was the famous lightning bird, and it excelled in speed. There were a few youths standing on the purple bird. In the center, a black-clothed youth put away the purple bough in his hand and clasped his hands behind his back. This Lin Fei is quite capable to be able to resist my star-chasing arrow. It looks like the rumors are true, that he has cultivated an incredible divine body. Ordinary people would have died to my arrow. Senior brother, Lin Fei's reputation is only a rumor. How can he be compared to Senior Brother Chu? I thought Lin Fei was very powerful. Senior brother, you injured him with one move. He couldn't even withstand one blow. Senior brother, Lin Fei took a star-chasing arrow and his divine body is injured. We should capture him quickly to prevent others from beating us to him.